Good morning, jewellery makers! Oh, there you are. We're continuing with our day at the races, of course. So delighted to be with you till 1 o'clock this afternoon. My name's Elena. For those of you who haven't met me before, it is a privilege and an absolute pleasure. Now, we have got an entire day lined up dedicated to the GGs. Well, you know, kind of. And of course, the ambience of the races. Now, this also includes inspiration from our wonderful guest designers. And today I'm joined by the one and the only, the fabulous, who's done some amazing work, by the way, Laura Binding, who looks adorable.
Oh, thank you.
You look so lovely.
Oh.
You suit hats.
Yeah, I've been told that.
You do really, really suit hats.
I can pull hats off, yeah.
Yeah, I love a hat.
Yeah, I do. It's nice to have an excuse to be able to wear one, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's Sunday morning and you're dressed up like this.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, I walked through the door yesterday, and you know, sometimes when you say to your partner something and it goes in one ear and out the other, you know. So I'd obviously mentioned that it was day at the races at Jewellery Maker, and I walked in with my hat, not on, admittedly. I didn't drive home with it on. And Tom was like, "Where have you been?" Been anywhere. Working. It was just completely, oh yeah, just didn't register at all. Yes, and loads to bring you. Now, lots to bring you which is brand new. We've got premiere opportunities being launched as well. Lots of inspiration. You'll love Laura's designs. I mean, they are absolutely amazing. The movement that you can create with wire just simply astounds me. I've also got brand new strand, and I need to show you this because it's coming up at 10 a.m. this morning. How often do you get Labradorite of this sheer size? And they are very dramatic shards with all of that labradorescence across the entire length of each of those wonderful gemstones. As the light obviously glides across, that's when you see that wonderful performance, that labradorescence. Uniquely faceted and fantastic for the day at the races. So we're thinking Cheltenham Cups coming up. We've got Ascot coming up in June, I think it is. Well, I'm not sure about Aintree, the dates there, but all of the start of the summer, etc. That's when you start to have such wonderful events. And can you imagine these actually being adorned on a day at the races where you're going to see lovely elements of sun as well, really enhancing that labradorescence. We've also got brand new Ametrine. We've got amazing opal. We've got stunning kits. So much, Kim, I can't even remember. Good job I wrote it down, isn't it? Chrome dioxide. Now, before we get to our lovely Laura Binding, we have got one of your most popular items ever being launched today. Now, we have listened to you, and you have been requesting for approximately a year, maybe even 18 months now, for the return of the bead scoop. Now, last week I brought you a monochrome bead scoop. Today, and there's 1,000 in quantity, and I think we sold out of the monochromes pretty much anyway. Today we are bringing you wonderful mixed colours of orange, red, browns, earthy tones, which would just be amazing for all different seasons. Obviously with our gem scoops, and I was asked this question, and the reason why I was talking about it again last week was it takes us a long time to be able to accumulate all of those gemstones to be able to warrant holding an auction like this, auction stroke opportunity. So if you think about it, whilst it's been a year and 18 months, we haven't deliberately kept them from you. We don't do that here at Jewellery Maker. It's simply because the stock levels haven't been enough to warrant the airtime. Now we have 1,000. We had 1,000 of the monochromes. They've pretty much all gone, and I'm absolutely certain this is going to be exactly the same as well. Why do our jewellery makers love a bead scoop? Makes you think outside the box. It's a great way of getting all different shapes and cuts and facets. Great way of accumulating loads of different gemstones and also all different tones. Straight away we've got people on the phone lines. I'm not surprised in the least. Now this is one example, and it is completely at random, obviously. So you might not get one of these circle pendants. You might get a few of those circle pendants. This is how they come with a matching gorgeous chiffon bag. And here I'm looking at shell, I'm looking at smoky quartz, I'm looking at carnelian, I'm looking at opal, I'm looking at fire opal, what looks like, most definitely howlite is in there. Shall I tip these out? I'm going to tip those out as well so I can actually see all of them. Tiger's eye is without shadow of a doubt in there. I've got examples of morganite rather. Wow, wow, wow. Pearls. Oops. All of these wonderful gemstones are on their way to you if you're on those phone lines right now. It also means that we can bring you an accumulation of these wonderful gems, genuine gems, obviously, for those of you that are new to us here at Jewellery Maker. If you're on those phone lines, if you're dialing now, you will get these at the most affordable price tags. It's a great way for all guest designers, and you all say it as well, don't you, Laura, that it forces you to think outside the box.
Yeah, for me, it's my favourite thing because I love things that are a little bit random.
Yeah.
And I love sort of one-off stones. For me, a lot of my work, as you'll see, is one focal feature and then a lot of wire. So for me, you've got so much scope there and you get that variety.
Do you remember, Laura, because we were obviously together at the time, do you remember when we did the NEC? And do you remember, because I spoke about it last time when we did the NEC, and it was I think it was about this time.
It was March.
Because it was snowing, wasn't it? Yeah. Anyway, and we were actually in one of the far corners, but we had a very big stand, Jewellery Maker. And I can remember watching, and I deliberately stepped off the stand. I remember watching the doors open for the first day, and every day consecutively after that. And it was like the surge of jewellery makers that were descending on the stand, which is absolutely fantastic. We absolutely love it, and I would love to be doing them again because we get to meet you as well. But it wasn't because you were coming to see the likes of your presenters or your hosts, or even, with the greatest respect, some of your guest designers. You were coming for the bead scoops. You were going nuts for the bead scoops. Yeah. Can you remember the amount of times?
It was carnage. It was like, don't go near those bead scoops.
Oh, it was elbows out.
It was brutal, yeah.
It really was.
Yeah, it was.
You know, I was here. You've got to stand your ground when you're in a battle of the bead scoops. And it's quite funny because Paula Bennett, obviously she was a managing director then, she was sending us back, and I did so many different, you know, to and fro, to get more beads for the bead scoop. Yeah. So it's not something that, when we used to save those up, especially for such events, obviously we haven't done an NEC event recently, so, and you're still crying out for these wonderful opportunities, so this is your chance to get them. But I'll never forget that. I tell you what, it was a really pleasing moment, but everybody literally surging forward. Yeah. It was quite intimidating, but in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, you almost wanted to put a time limit on how long people could be there for, because they were just like literally going through all these bead scoops. Yeah,
and the good old rummage,
aren't they? Something about them, you just want to put your hands in and just.
Yeah, and I love the pictures that I'm seeing on Facebook right now of the bead scoop that we brought you only last week. We had 1,000, by the way. How are the phone lines looking, Kim? It's going all right at the moment. If you phone now, you should be okay. Our call centre are on it this morning, obviously. Yeah, what was I just saying? Oh yeah, the photos that you're all sharing on Facebook now of your bead scoops, which are obviously arriving, and you know, you're separating them into different shapes and sizes and different gemstones, and that's part of the fun as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
We need to bring that price tag in for you, because already tons of you are there. 1,000 available today, and I do think it's only going to last the matter of today, because obviously it's the weekend. Let me tilt my hat back because I can't quite see you. There we go. There we are. It is the weekend, so very, very popular and busy day for us, and this is without shadow of a doubt your most requested item, and it has been for, gosh, I think since we started, really. Have we always done bead scoops?
No.
About a year into Jewellery Maker, I think we first started them, and obviously realised that you all absolutely adore them, and I'm not in the slightest bit surprised. Let me just pick up a few examples. Well, we've all noticed the big orange shell. That's fantastic, isn't it? That's a beautiful connector. We've all noticed that. Now, these are completely picked at random, and you've got some amazing tiger's eye here. Then you've got some lovely crackled quartz here. Then you've got some smoky quartz at the front. Can you see those? Plain rounds. Fabulous. You've got some shell pearl. You've got some, I think these are faceted agates just there. You've got some carved shell. just here. You could have absolutely anything. That's the thing. You might end up with opal, you might end up with, in fact, I like the fact that some of these do actually test us and make us think, well, hang on a minute, I've got, what gemstone is this? Has it got chatoyancy? Has it got, what phenomena effect? You might have Morganite in there, you might have sapphire in there, you might have ruby in there, any of the above, and that's part of the fun, isn't it? That, just having a good old dig.
Yeah, well, in our intermediate wire workshop we run here, we have a bead scoop, and it is quite amazing how much you can achieve with a bead scoop and still have tons left. You don't need that much. You know, it's great if you're also having a bit of a mojo block. I often say just put a bead scoop in front. A mojo block. A
mojo block?
Yeah, like a brain block, you know, where you just sort of don't really know what to do. Yeah. And I often just say, you know, we make rings, random rings, or just with one bead or a couple in a cluster style. Just put your bead scoop down and just pick a couple of stones, so don't even think about it. And sometimes it can help sort of get the creativity going again. Yeah, absolutely. Because you've got different shapes, whether you're not just getting plain rounds, and also affordably wise, you know, if you think about it, if these were, and last time we actually restranded them, it was well over £1 metre on the bead scoop. So I'm saying you've more than likely got it about the same. But yeah, if you were to buy each of these gemstones and each of these cuts and each of these shapes, it's going to cost you a whole lot more than £4.95, isn't it? We've got a text message. Kim is saying, let's say hello to the lovely Sarah in Suffolk. Good morning, smiley face. I had great fun playing with a bead scoop at a course on Friday and got the most amazing bit of purple druzy. She did, yeah. She was in my workshop and I was all a bit jealous of the druzy that she managed to find. Yeah. Well, you know, you've got to be in it to win it. Definitely. You've got to be in it to win it. Karen in Worcestershire saying, good morning, ladies. Ah, thank you for both looking stunning for a Sunday morning. Great hats, thank you. I don't know how long mine's going to last, though, to be honest. Mine's hurting me already. It's digging in my head. It's because I haven't got a JM headband on there. It's not a JM one. See, and it's digging in my head. Should we go over to the kit? I think we should. Now, in fact, I'll show it to you here first. I'll just shimmy those out the way, trying not to spread the beads everywhere, and grab the first kit. Wow. A kit entirely of emerald. Chunky cuff, yeah, but I'm just going to say only emerald in a kit. I mean, normally you get maybe one strand, one very high-end strand, you know, very, very, very high-end. They're all high-end strands, but one showstopper, I suppose, within the kit. Yeah. You're having two and a huge saving. Let's get those emeralds down. Let's get them on the back of the hand so you can actually see what you're about to own. Irregular, stunning, I'm going to say boulders, because these aren't nuggets, boulders of emerald, natural as well, haven't been treated in any way, shape or form. Then you've got these gorgeous rondelles, amazing rondelles. Look how they complement each other in terms of their colour and location. I'm going to assume that they are, because my for some reason, can we just have a look, just refresh my screen, Lauren, just because I can't quite see the location. But I'm going to assume, and I will confirm in a moment, that these are both from one location, and that might be Brazil, just because of that depth of colour and saturation. Thank you, my lovely. There we go. Yeah, I can't see it yet, so our Kim's going to have to tell me. But I'm guessing, I'm 99% certain that these are emeralds from Brazil. Totally and utterly natural. Look at that gorgeous colour. Huge saving. Nowhere near £46.70. But we're not just stopping with these. We've also got, of course, Laura Binding here in the studio. Then obviously we are going to spoil you with lots and lots of wire, and this is my favourite colour of wire. Yeah. I think it's one of the most classy, and I know it's called copper, but it's actually quite a really soft copper. Now, 4 spools of your copper coloured wire. It's the new one that we've got. Sorry, gold coloured copper wire, but look how it's a really classy, delicate gold. It's not too yellowy or brushed, which is what Laura and I were talking about last time. It's a stunning depth of tone, I suppose. Now, again, let me just turn these round so you can actually see the colour. In fact, I'll take them off. Take that plastic covering off, which stops it obviously all going everywhere. So double whammy with that really, because they are invaluable. Here we go, look at these colours. Oh, the colour I should say. All different gauges. You have got 0.4, 100 metres here. Then you have 10 metres of your 1.25 millimetre gauge, so great for your structure. Laura will be talking about that some more during her demonstrations. Then you've got 10 metres of your 0.6 gauge. Then you've got another 10 metres of your 0.6 gauge. So 20 metres of your 0.6, 100 metres of your 0.4, and 10 metres of your 1.25 millimetre gauge, and all of the emeralds, 2 strands of gorgeous emeralds. Now, I'm no wire expert, that's why we've got the lovely Laura here. Look, you don't need anything else really, do you, in terms of wire?
No, I mean, they're beautiful. They're, you know, we've got the 20 metres at a 0.6 because it's a lovely gauge to do the Viking knit with. And obviously you do use quite a lot of it, so you've got that freedom of being able to really go to town with your designs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's versatile, and it's covering the weaving, like you said, Viking knit. You've got the structural pieces with the 1.25 as well, and you're getting 2 strands of emerald. I mean, I don't know, have we ever done a kit which is just solely emerald, or just solely ruby, or just solely sapphire? Because I've not seen one previously before. But look at the colour combination. Look how beautifully it matches the tone of green with the perfect, classy, it is a classy, sophisticated colour of gold. Absolutely loving it, and you'll adore Laura's pieces of jewellery. Of course, A Day at the Race is inspired as well, so lots of inspiration there also. How amazing would it be to own an emerald of one of these sizes? Now, we've described them as tumbles. So they're smooth to the touch. They're not rough or you know, so they haven't got any sharp edges or anything like that. So they are beautifully smooth. And then you've got the rondelles, 95 carats on this strand as well. 16 centimetre strand on the tumbles, and then 19 centimetre strand on your emeralds. Kimbo, are these Brazilian emeralds? One strand. Which one? Which one? Okay, so your rondelles are Brazilian, and oh, okay, surprising. I thought they were both from exactly the same location because they match so beautifully.
Got lovely colour shading going for them both.
The tumbles are actually saying that they're from Africa. I reckon that's probably a case of where we actually purchased them from. I think they are Brazilian just because they're very synonymous to the tones that you get from the Brazilian mines. Look how bright and vibrant they are. Massive, massive, massive saving, Kim was telling me this morning, for one of the... Oh my goodness, you kidding me? Okay, everyone at home. Kim's just said it to me in my ear. Is that what it says on my... It doesn't say that on my sheet, but it doesn't matter. I've got 112 of these. Laura, how about if this kit was under £20?
Seriously? Wow.
For all of that wire?
Yeah. I mean, for the wire alone, but then I would expect it to be 2 bundles. I would expect you to say that's either for the emerald or for the wire, not for both together, because they're really, really beautiful.
£19.95. That's a £26.75 saving. That's over half price.
That is an amazing price. And there's, you know, each piece of those would be that price at least. As a base price.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got here 100, let me just count it, 100, 110, 120, 130 metres of wire here, in all the gauges really that you need.
Yeah, and because it's this new wire, it's soft and malleable. So I've done something I wouldn't normally be able to do. I've kind of created a wire woven focal that I would normally not use a 1.25 wire for, because it would be too strong to be able to manipulate. So, you know, it really is a beautiful bundle.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just... we've got loads of you on the phone lines, and I was like, can I say hello to everybody? Just, I think our tablet's just having a little bit of a moment this morning. Kim's saying, absolutely flying to me. I'm not surprised in the least. Wow, yeah, we have been inundated. Well, good job our call centre are up bright and early on a Sunday morning, isn't it? Good job our web never sleeps. Never ever sleeps. But again, can I just, sorry to sound like a broken record, have we ever done an exclusive emerald kit? I don't think we have we? where it's just so, it's exclusively emerald, and all of that gorgeous wire. Corinne in Norfolk, wow, thanks, you're welcome, my lovely. Great start to a Sunday morning, ladies, and looking gorgeous, God bless you. Thank you so much. I tell...
Should have chose the hat.
Yeah, Laura did say, do you want to wear my hat? And I was like, I end up with hat hair and I'm going out with my parents at lunchtime, so I'll wear the fascinator. But it'll probably get on my nerves by the end of the show. Thank you, Corinne, and nice to have your company. Isn't it a great start to a Sunday morning? Bead scoop and also a kit of this calibre. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that, does it?
It doesn't. I am actually genuinely, I'm shocked at that price. I am shocked for the amount of wire that you get, and for the emeralds as well.
I've just literally had an idea. Well, not an idea, but, you know, something's dawned on me. £25 less than. Okay, plus your postage and packaging of £2.95. You've got all of this coming. And they both work. It all works together. For less than £25, you've got emerald, 100 and what did I say? 10, 20, 30 metres of wire.
Yeah.
Emeralds, and all of these...
See that tiger's eye that's in the middle that keeps jumping out at me in that bead...
Which one?
That massive tiger's eye in the middle of that bead scoop.
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that would be beautiful as a focal for the cuff. The one with the focal, that would be a beautiful alternative if you didn't want the green or you didn't want the emerald, and you wanted that more sort of earthy look. That would be beautiful as a centre focal bead.
Absolutely. Let's take a wander over to the lovely Laura and see the pieces of jewellery that she's created, because she's always amazing. And my person, I don't know actually, I was going to say my favourite's the pendant, but I love them all. I do love them all. Let's take a wander over. Yeah, I'm just listening to Ryan. He was like, I don't think we'll get all of Elle in shot. How rude, excuse me. Hey. Oh, you're talking about the hat. That's all right then. That's okay then. Likely story. A likely story. I know I'm getting bigger. Can't fit on the screen now, Laura.
And you've got a couple of months to go.
Oh, exactly. We've still got 3 months to go, yeah. Look at these. Oh, that's so beautiful, Laura. I mean, just one of those tumbles.
And that's what I'm saying. And I mean, I chose one of the nice focals. And the nice thing about those tumble stones are that they've got like a lot of them have got flat sides. So you get that sort of depth of the stone, but the back is flat, so it sits nicely against your wrist or however you choose to wear it.
That's amazing, Laura. I love that work. Oops. I love that detailing. And is this...
The 1.25, that's Viking knit around the side. And like I said, that's a focal. I would never normally be able to do that kind of weave-in layered look with a 1.25, but because this wire is so lovely, soft and malleable,
yeah, you can.
You're able to do it.
You can get away with it. And this again, with your Viking knit?
Yeah, that's double Viking knit. I'll be honest with you, it was going to be part of a bracelet, and it kind of was that in-between length that was too short for a full bracelet, but too long for a half. So I just thought, oh, I'm going to just form it into a horseshoe. So
yeah, but what a symbolic piece of jewellery.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, we give horseshoes for weddings. We give them for 21st and 18th birthdays as well, 16th birthdays. Generally, it's a good luck sign, isn't it?
It's kind of a subtle way as well, because sometimes it's like a bit, there you go, there it is as a horseshoe, whereas that's a little bit more of a subtle way of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I would wear this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wear a horseshoe.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'll give it, I'm quirky, I'll give it a go, but I think personally this is going to look way more beautiful. And then again, a big cuff bangle that you've got here. And is this Viking knit also?
It is Viking knit, yes.
Look, how amazing. Isn't that stunning? I really think that this wire is the most classy coloured. It's my favourite colour.
It's kind of like a champagne gold.
Yeah, it is like champagne.
Yeah, it's not that. Sometimes you can get quite a sort of a brassy, sort of yellowy type of gold, but it's a really beautiful soft gold.
Well, to me, I mean, we were talking about golds yesterday because we had a gold chain to bring, and we were talking about the different levels of purity. So obviously, the more yellow the gold, generally, like Indian gold tends to be very yellow, like 24 carat. That's the purest gold, and obviously different metals are actually added to harden it up. I personally prefer sort of the 18/9 carat. It's only personal choice, but I prefer the 18/9 carat because it has got that metal included in, however however many parts it actually is, and it tones it down somewhat to like you said, this champagne-y colour.
Yeah.
And out of all of our wire that we've got here, it's my personal favourite just because I think it has got that really sophisticated colour.
Yeah, I think I always remember doing a show with you back before you when you did a few shows.
When I was on the American channel.
Yeah, and you always said then I can't really wear yellow gold because it doesn't really work with me, with my skin tone. But I think that this is the kind of gold, again, that is going to go with any skin tone because it's soft and warm.
Yep.
So it's going to go with anybody. And I think it's, you know, if you're looking for a gift to give to somebody, it's a nice alternative because you know it's going to go.
Isn't it funny though as well that if I said that to you, and I know I did once, I know because I used to always wear white gold, whereas now I favour yellow gold.
Yeah.
I actually prefer it. So it's the different tones that you actually get.
Yeah.
Now, we have also got, speaking of Viking knit, if you've not heard of it before, the wonderful DVD that Laura actually, stars in. So your tuition, and it's edition 1 of Viking knit. So this is the basics.
Yeah, that's the basics, that's the beginning, that's everything you really ideally need. You know, it shows you how to get started, how to add in, how to finish, how to do your knit, how to sort of use the daisy tool, and it touches on double and triple.
Okay, so it's an hour length, approximately an hour, and you've got various different tutorials on there, and you can see different knits as well. So it is a tool a Viking knit is something that you can purchase from us here at Jewellery Maker. Just have a little look on our website. I'm not sure if it's in or not, but have a little look. It's certainly one of our most popular techniques and gadgets that we actually bring you, and you've used it in all of your designs. So this is the very beginners Viking knit, and it's such an infectious, again going back to that NEC show, can you remember, because it's when we launched
we hadn't long had it,
hadn't long had it, and it was the bead scoops with the Viking knit tools. You know, everyone was going mad for those as well, weren't they? It was a really exciting event. I do hope we do them again. And this DVD, we always bring you, our tuition DVDs are jam-packed. We don't just feature 1 or 2 techniques. Usually they tend to have 3, 4, 5, 6 even. And like I said, it's one of our guest designers who feature on our live shows, joining you in the comfort of your own home, which means you can start the DVD as and when you choose and go at your own very pace. It also means that we can bring you tuition DVDs at a super affordable price tag. Now, ordinarily, if you look online, I mean, they can be 20, 30, 40 pounds, can't they?
Yeah.
Ours, you won't believe the price. Plus, you can swap these with us. That's no problem whatsoever. $4.95 only. The recommended retail price is obviously higher than that, obviously. You've got an expert teaching you these mediums, and $4.95 only. Another way that I think they're fantastic, not everybody can actually make it to one of our workshops. I mean, it's lovely if you can, but not everybody can make it, whether that's for the budget, whether it's because of the travelling or issues like time off work, etc. This is a great way of doing it in your time, you know, when it's convenient for you and without actually having to travel, because we are quite centrally located. I do think as a studios we're quite centrally located in the West Midlands. It's not like we're way up north or way down south or whichever. So we are centrally located. However, it's not always convenient, is it?
No, but it's also good to have it on something like a DVD, because you can go back to certain things. So if you think, well, look, I've mastered the Viking knit, that's great, but I can't remember how I'm supposed to add in, then you can just go directly to that section of just adding in, rather than sort of having to go through a whole DVD or try and find videos on YouTube or anything like that of our past shows.
It's there. You can have a little library of them. A lot of you are asking the question, do you get 2 lots of the 0.6 wire? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's just not on our web information for some reason. So yes, you've got 10 metres of the 1.25. I'm doing this from memory now. 100 metres of the 0.4 and 20 metres in total. So two spools of the 0.6. So yes, you do. I know our graphics on the web don't say that, but yes, 100% you do. $4.95 only. And what sort of gauge would you use for Viking knit?
Pretty much what we've got here. So your 0.6 and your 0.4. I'll pass the pieces over in a minute and I'll be able to show you the difference in the textures of using the different wires. The 0.6 is going to give a firmer kind of gauge and feel, whereas a 0.4 will give you a more fluid type of chain.
Okay.
So it, you know, it is personal preference, or it is dependent on the type of project that you have in mind. The horseshoe necklace, I've used a 0.6 for the actual
What
horseshoe.
about this one? What have we done for
That
this
one's
one?
0.6.
0.6.
On the sides. The two cuffs are 0.6 because they're denser.
Yeah.
So it creates a more...
I was going to guess that because you can actually feel.
Yeah, because you can feel it. And yet the horseshoe pendant, that part itself is 0.6, whereas the two side parts are 0.4. So you can see the difference in the texture and in the type of chain as well.
You can actually, and just how dense they are. Arlene in London is saying, hi everybody, I was using the DVD yesterday. Oh. There we go. Excellent. Thank you, Arlene.
Thank
you. You've probably had enough of Laura then.
Yeah,
I'm joking. I'm joking. You know that you were saying that to me the other day when you would have that
mammoth.
Yeah, you might as well have slept here, hadn't you?
I think I
We love our binding. We love our Laura binding. We can never have enough of you, my darling. And I always love to watch this as well.
Yeah.
So which one is it that you're going to be demonstrating?
We're going to kind of do like the flat Viking knit, so basically the sections for the cuff. What I'm going to do is show you the theory of how I did that one there.
Because I've never seen Viking knit be made flat before. It's always a tube.
Yeah, I mean it comes off as a tube, but then obviously what you do with it afterwards. It's quite nice to show that there is more to Viking knit than just making a chain out of it, that you can create, you know, structure with it. So what I'm going to do is like I'm actually going to do a pendant, which is going to be a version of the cuff, so I can show how it was done. But I also wanted to say how much I've got left. I mean, look at all of this, and that's what I've got left out of this kit, as well as that amount of emerald. I mean, it's insane. It got, because I got to a point.
For £19.95.
I had to stop.
It's got to be one of the best value kits that we've done.
I am really genuinely shocked. I mean, you know, that focal bracelet with the weave-in in itself would be at a start of around about £40.
Yeah,
because
for an emerald, surely.
Because, well, and the time as well that goes into it, and the uniqueness. You have to remember, anything like this has got that uniqueness to it, that sort of one-off appeal to it. So it's not something that I could replicate because it was just kind of freeform. So you have to take all that into consideration.
It's one of a kind. And that's just one individual emerald. I mean, they're sizable emeralds, but yeah, I'd expect as a consumer and a jewellery wearer to... Firstly, it's bespoke handmade jewellery, we know that, and you expect to pay a premium for that. And it's a genuine emerald.
Yeah.
Genuine emerald. Okay, over to you, my lovely.
Right.
So this is the Viking knit gadget.
So this is the Lazy Daisy. You get two different types of Lazy Daisies that we do. We've got the 1/2 inch and we've got the 1/4 inch, okay? And they just give different looks. So I would, if you can, and I appreciate they are a little bit of an investment, but I would certainly say invest in both if you can. If you're starting and you have...
They're not huge though, are they? I mean, we're talking about sort of, what is it, £30?
This one, the larger one's about £24.95, and I believe this one, it's been around about the £20 mark, but I know it's been going, there's been a few good deals on it, which we've been doing lately, so I don't know what it currently is. Sorry.
I just spelt my tea down there.
If you had a choice, I would say start with the larger tool, just because you've got a bigger circumference to work around, which is going to make your life a bit easier.
Yeah, and with the chunkiness, I guess, there's that width.
Yeah. We are going to use the larger tool for two reasons for the demonstration of this. Because obviously when it comes off of the tool, it's going to be the diameter of the tool. So straight away, my knit is going to be larger than it is in this tool. And secondly, when you're using a thicker gauge, such as a 0.6, it takes up more space. Obviously, it's a thicker gauge of wire, so it's going to still give you room to work with a thicker gauge of wire.
Would you say it's easier?
It is. It's the same.
Just because it's bigger?
But yeah, probably it is probably a bit easier. And I certainly, if you are starting, you had a choice, I would probably advise to go for the larger tool.
My goodness, we're busy today. I tell you what, that kit's all sold out, Laura. All sold out. We had a triple figure quantity, and I'm going to be completely honest. First thing on a Sunday morning. Sometimes we're a little bit quieter, because I get it, you're having a lie-in. Not today, everyone's tuned in for you, my darling. So let's bring you this quickly, because you use this, don't you?
I always use that,
This is your mini anvil. Now, I'm going to lean on the wonderful Laura binding. To tell us about this wonderful gadget.
Okay, so it's a really cool little gadget, really, because it enables you to sort of create textures with your pieces, but because of the shapes and angles of it, you're able to sort of create curves, you're able to sort of hammer, if you were doing a ring or jump rings or anything like that, you've got this sort of cone on the end. And one really cool little thing, if you can tip it up, can you see that little hole? Just down, that one there. Nope, turn it, that one.
Oh, that one.
That little hole. So you know we do these beautiful sterling silver earring finding posts.
Yes.
And a lot of them are like round with brushed, and you get all these plain ones. I know we do the beautiful detailed ones, but we do plain round ones, or we do the heart ones. You can put the post of the earring into that hole, and then you can stamp an initial onto them. So, you know, it's got little quirks like that that enable you to do something that a standard hammering block you won't be able to do. If you've got like copper sheet and that little section that you were showing there, that curve, you could then just get that curve of your metal or the blanks that we do or anything like that, or even just your wire. There's nothing to say you don't place a piece of wire in there and gently hammer it to get a lovely curve.
It is substantial, isn't it? I mean, this is a weighty tool. I mean, you still only pay the one postage and packaging of $2.95 irrespective of the weight. It's, you just have to say thank you to your postman probably. It is the mini anvil, but perfect size for all of the above. I mean, you'll probably find
it's portable.
Portable, transportable, absolutely. Now it should be coming your way at $8.95. Should be. However, price slash of $6.95 today.
Wow.
And you'd use this with when you're actually sort of flattening your Viking knit.
It would be good. It would be good to sort of do that with, because you could just place it along the top. It's just a little mini sort of multi-angled steel block. In effect.
Absolutely.
So it gives you a little bit more scope than a standard steel block would. You know.
Well, you've kind of got ring mandrels in there. You've got Wags Wycombe kind of templates, haven't you? You've got
your curves. You've got your holes, so you could do your stamping.
Yeah, you've got tons.
Yeah, you really have. And I would say if you did want to do stamping, and if you textured your metal, if you had like textured hammers or anything like that, that maybe to invest in too, especially at that kind of price, because when you do use something that you do create texture in with, you will then, it's inevitable to kind of texture the steel plate as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's always good to have two, one to have for that plain, straight, flattening sort of work hardening, and then one that's going to get a little bit dinged with the texturing.
Absolutely. Now, lovely. We're going to come back to you, my darling. Thank you so much for letting us squeeze that in.
No worries. Right, I'm just going to show you. I've done one section here, so I'm going to just show you how to, remove this from the tool, and then to quickly start and get another section done. It's very quick and easy.
Okay.
So removing the knit off of the tool, you've got the daisy here. Let me just move this a moment. So I've got the daisy here. Now, the beauty of Viking knit is that I can remove this, and all I do is I just push that little sort of part down there, and it will raise all of the loops, which means that I can then just go with my pliers and just cut, and be careful you don't hit anybody, and remove the little daisy part of the tool away from the knit. Give it a little bit of a shake, and you should have one little piece of wire sticking out, okay? If you've got more than that, then just give it another shake, because you should only have one piece of wire.
So we're not cutting the actual tool, obviously. You're cutting the wire.
Yeah, just cutting the wire to remove it. And then what I'm going to do is just to get rid of this edge, and this is a good habit to get into before you do anything else. As soon as you remove it, get rid of this edge, because if you forget, it hurts basically. If you stab yourself.
Oh, there's nothing worse than, and also wearing a piece of jewellery that has got sharp edges.
You might miss it, it might just have assumed you've done it. So it's always good to get into that habit. So what I'm going to do is just take my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to roll that little tail around the loop it's on.
Yeah.
So it's just like that, and then that's just gotten rid of that edge. Okay, so I'm going to put that down. Now what I did before I started doing the knit on this one was I cut 2 lengths of wire the same, so that I know that both of these sections are going to be the same. Okay, there's probably a more technical way you can do it, but for me that's the easiest, rather than having to count rows or anything like that.
Nothing wrong with that.
So I'll just show you how we attach the wire to the daisy and how we get it started. Okay, so you've got the little sort of the daisy part here, which is on the larger tool has 12 holes. This enables you to kind of, it enables you to do basically a 12 loop. You can do any section that you want. When you get the tool, it does give you a little leaflet, and on the leaflet it has a little layout of how you can create a 4 loop, a 3 loop, a 12 loop, 6 loop, it shows you. But basically you're just dividing 12 by whatever number of loops you want to do.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to place my wire through, so it's going down the tool. And I'm going to take the actual tool itself, and there's 2 sets of holes, sort of a higher and lower on both sides. I'm not sure why there's a low. I'm not going to lie. I don't actually know why. I've not ever really used it. I only just used the top one.
Fair enough.
So there's one that's high.
If you know the answer to that question,
please let me know.
Text in, yeah.
I assume it's maybe to do 2 wires together or something like that.
Okay.
But I tend to just use the same hole, to be honest with you. So you've got the hole right at the very top here, and then it obviously comes out to a lower hole. So what I'm going to do is feed that wire through, and then just place that daisy into the tool and flatten that little tail there. And then we can start to do the knit itself. So if I put it down like this, that's it. So what I want to do is there's little grooves in each of these where there's a sort of flower section. So I'm going to swoop it anti-clockwise so it sits in between the grooves. Okay, so you can see that. And then I'm just going to put my thumb there just to hold it in place. And then I'm just going to take the wire and I'm going to bring it up. So on this occasion I'm doing a 4 loop. So I'm going to skip 2 and go up through the 3rd hole. Now just to clarify, I'm using a 0.6 for this. Okay, so the wire might get itself a little bit twisted. If that happens, it's not a problem. Just make sure you straighten it as you go along. And then again, I'm just going to swoop it anti-clockwise. And you'll see like a groove at the top here. I use that as my guideline as to where to put my loops. Okay, so then I'm going to go another 2, skip 2, and go up through the 3rd. And you can see I'm just feeding that wire. And every time I'm holding my thumb there on the previous loop to keep it in place. And then I'm going to do the 4th and final one, which should be in the middle. There we go. Okay, and that's my 4 loops. Okay, so you'll see you don't want to go back up through the hole that's already got wire. So that one there's already got wire, and it's the start one because it's the wire is right above the hole. Yeah. So when I get to this point, I stop. I don't want to bring the wire back up. Another way to check is to check the top of the tool, and you'll see 4 loops. You can see your 4 sets of wires, so you know you've got 4 columns. Okay? So then you start in it itself, which is basically bringing the wire, still going anti-clockwise, and I'm just going to bring it behind that first loop and feed that wire around, and I'm letting it naturally stop, and then I'm just going to pull that wire down and form that loop. Okay? So then I'm just going to do that again, and what I'm doing is I put my thumb again on that previous loop just to hold it in place. Yeah. And then I'm pulling that wire through, letting it stop, and gently forming. And you see I put my finger along and I form that loop.
Give it a twist.
And I'm holding the wire like this, so I'm kind of pulling the wire with my hands to form that nice loop. A lot of people struggle with consistency with their loops, and so what I can say is just, you'll see, I'm letting it naturally stop. Yep, holding the previous one, and then with my finger and my hand just pulling that wire, guiding that loop. Yeah. And what I'll say is if you're doing this and you're struggling to find that tension, you'll probably have a few wobbly rows to start with, and then it'll click and you'll get that natural tension.
There's nothing wrong with a wobbly row.
Viking is very, very forgiving as well. So
yeah, I like the fact that it's got quite, quite a lot of texture to it. Now I'll let Laura progress so she can build up that lovely weave for you.
Can I say something before you do that, just because then I can progress?
Go for it.
Before you do, when you've done your first row, move the wire to one side and you'll see the wire coming out of the hole. Cut that tail and remove that.
Fabulous.
Otherwise you'll stitch the
I
whole
forgot,
piece yourself.
I forgot about that.
Sorry.
And then you wouldn't be able to unattach it.
No, exactly. Sorry. Well, carry on now.
No, don't apologise. I'm glad you reminded me of it. So fantastic. Okay. There are just 41 of these available. That's it. Unfortunately, certain gemstones, obviously, we know are rarer than others. Sorry to state the obvious, but they are, which means that here at Jewellery Maker, we're never going to have a fruitful supply of certain ones. And we know the obvious gemstones, don't we? Your tanzanites, your chrome dioxide, your Ethiopian opal. I can go on, Pyrite, alexandrite, Zarite, etc. These are gemstones that we're never going to have a huge amount of because they are so scarce. Iolite is another one that fits into that equation. Now, firstly, it does form in different localities around the world. Recently, I had the privilege and honour of selling a wonderful parcel and pieces of jewellery from Bengal, and it was just amazing quality. I'd never seen iolite quite like it before. But the reason why we absolutely love it, because it is very unique as a blue gemstone. It's nothing like sapphire, it's nothing like tanzanite, it's nothing like kyanite as a gemstone. It has got a lovely denim-esque appearance to it. But Iolite is also steeped in history. For those of you that don't know, this gemstone has been used throughout all the different ages, actually as a navigation tool. So anybody that goes to sea at any point, anybody that has, I don't know, a sailboat or a motorboat or has been out to sea will know how difficult it is actually to navigate. And you use what we call a GPS now these days in the day of technology. Back in the Viking, sort of the Viking era, they used Iolite as a gemstone to navigate their way across the big open seas because it's a gemstone which has got a really high amount of pleochroism, way above many other gems out there. So as light hits this gorgeous gemstone at differing angles, you will start to see different colours, not just the obvious blue, which is the main body colour. You'll then start seeing pinks, flashes of electric blue coming through, earthy tones as well, and that's how the Vikings knew which way to sort of point their vessel, if you like, north, south, east or west, to make them, well, get to whatever location they were heading for. So fascinating gemstone. And the only gemstone that I know has actually been used as to be honest, a life or death situation, really. Because if you think about it, I think that one of my biggest fears is the sea. I'm terrified of the sea. I think it is overwhelming, the sea. I mean, what's it? We've only discovered 5%.
I love the sea.
You love the sea. Yeah, so you love sharks and everything like that, don't you? I'm terrified of it. You know, when you go into the water, and I can go into the water where I can see around me, but you know when it starts to go cold, you know it's deep then, don't you? Yeah. You know it's deep, and I'm like, oh my God, that's me starting to hyperventilate, and I have to get out of there very, very quickly. Yeah, I've been brave and tried to overcome it in the past.
Don't like jellyfish though; they freak me out.
Oh, fish generally freak me out. I just think they're quite.
I like them, that's a bit mean. They just scare me in the water because they're all...
I can remember, I'm digressing slightly. I went on a cruise once around the Caribbean many years ago, but I can remember once that the actual restaurant itself had, if you can imagine, is it the bow, the front of the boat?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, the bow, the front of the boat, anyway, the front. The restaurant actually was in that pointy bit, and it had like glass windows which came down at an angle, which meant you could sit at your table and then sort of see into the sea. And of course in the Caribbean it's crystal clear, the amount of jellyfish. Yeah. And I could see them, and I'm on a cruise line of mine, so it's quite a way up, and you could see the jellyfish.
Yeah, I'd be all right with that. I just wouldn't want to be in the water with them because it's just their tentacles freak me out a little bit.
Oh, and there's giant squids and things like that.
I've had a baby octopus.
Let's get back to the gemstones. See, that's where I am comfortable. Wow. But you know what? This is a should-be price. We're not even stopping here. There's only 41 of these available. It's not a gemstone we can get a huge amount of. It's totally and utterly natural. One of the only big blues which actually is natural. 9 times out of 10. $12.95 for Iolite.
Beautiful.
You know your shark necklace, and I know you are inspired a lot by the sea as well, Laura. So this would be amazing, this strand, to go along with some of those pieces.
It really would. It would be beautiful. It would be something that you could create something really magical with it, really. Yeah. It would go beautiful with this gold wire.
Really would, wouldn't it?
I tell you what looked lovely. Can I just steal that 1 second and your strand?
Yeah, you can.
I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to show.
I know what you're going to do.
So you can feel Viking it with gemstones. So then you would be able to draw that wire over, and then you would be able to have the stones, and this wire would just basically be encased in these stones.
That's a fab idea. So. And you don't get to do that with, I mean, blue gemstones generally, we think sapphires, don't we, which tend to be a lot smaller than this. We think tanzanites, which certainly are a lot smaller than this. Kyanite we rarely see. Yeah. So this is a very rare opportunity to get hold of a blue gemstone of this size in a plain round, and for it to be natural. Over half the stock is gone already, so do get it as soon as you can. Should have been $19.95 already, absolutely incredible. But 12.95 is going to be a guaranteed sellout, isn't it? Incredible. And it's a real denim blue, you know. You think about those sort of indigo jeans that we wear. I don't know if you do, but those indigo jeans that you see every season, every year. And that's the colour of Iolite. Well done. Stay where you are. We're going to go back to the lovely Laura, because you've done your second weave.
So you can see how quick and easy that is.
Yep.
So I've done the second one, and I've just removed it, and what I've done is I've just made sure they're around about the same sort of size. Now, what you can do with this wire, again, because it's an open weave, because we've done just 4 what we call columns, just down the side, which is 4 loops, really. And the rungs are quite large on this.
Yep.
The rungs are the sections in the middle. You know, you're able to manipulate this quite nicely with your hands, which gives you a bit sort of freedom. So with your hands, what I'm doing is I'm just gently reducing it a little bit in size, and I'm just going to sort of use my fingers just
so you're squeezing and pulling at the same time, aren't you?
Yeah, just to give it a little bit more of a sort of shape. And then I can just place it down here. Now it's still got quite a sort of 3D effect here, because I haven't really flattened it properly, but it looks lovely like that if you want that sort of bit more depth to it.
Yeah.
So then what I'm going to do is, now you can hammer it lightly if you wanted to, but I'm just going to take my nylon pliers and just gently go from one end to the other.
Giving it a squeeze.
Give it a squeeze. Sorry. There we go. Just flatten that down like that. And what will happen is it will lose its shape a little bit, because obviously it's got rungs, and see it's going a little bit sort of bulges out a little bit, and what it will try and do is curl, just because of the way, I don't know, it just does. So what you do is just flatten it until you're happy, and so it will look a bit like this. I'll hold that, so it's not looking too neat at the moment. But what you can do then is just, again, take your hands and just go back along and straighten it out.
Wouldn't it be good if you could do this in real life? Squeezing bulges.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? I think Jenny Clear was on about getting a real life extruder, you know, just to sort of make it nice.
I'd maybe not now, but I'd put myself through that extruder, 100%. It'd be good if you could flatten down the bulges.
Yeah. So there you go, there's one. And you can see how just sort of using your hands and just going along and just shaping it again, you can get that shape back. And then what you do is this a couple of times. You go back over it again with your flat nose pliers. Sorry, not your flat nose pliers, your nylon pliers, and just flatten it again, and that gives you that nice dense look. And then you would do that with both. And then what I've done, so I just place that down, and then for the cuff itself, so obviously on the cuff I did it on a larger scale, a longer version. And what I'm going to do is you would cut enough wire to be able to make the whole of the cuff in one. Okay? So obviously this is a mini version, but you would make sure that you've got enough to be able to go along the wrist. So you'd need, if you were wearing, I tend to make about an inch gap between your cuffs as well. So if you've got tiny wrists, so you probably wear about a 6.5 inch. Yeah. So I would probably make it about 5.5, just 5 3/4 lengthwise.
Okay.
So what you would want is enough 5 3/4 here, the same on the other side. And then whatever depth you're going to will probably be a couple of inches, and then again on this side. So overall, you'll probably be looking at about 20 inches.
Fabulous.
So, or whatever, just to sort of play about with in one long length, okay? Right. And then you take your pliers, and you're just going to fold. This would be your kind of, that's your cuff shape there. And then you would place this in. And what you would want is, once you've flattened this second piece, which I'll just do super quick, it's going to be a bit rougher, but you would place that in.
That's okay, don't rush, because we've got these to bring as well.
Okay, you carry on then.
Don't rush, we've got plenty of time for us to do both, if you like.
Yeah.
So, because I think these are going, again, amazing with the wire.
Yeah, beautifully.
Look at this bundle. It's your shell, and you've got 3 strands of your stars and your rounds. Sandy beach. Can I borrow your Viking knit for a second?
Yes.
Just because I want to pop that next to it. Look at the colour combination.
And again, what you can do when you've got a flat base like this is you can sew beads onto it. So those stars you could stitch. You could take the 0.4 and stitch them onto that actual.
So you can incorporate the gemstones in, can't you? You just basically use the Viking knit a bit like fabric, really. Yeah. It's a limited stock opportunity though, so do grab it as soon as you possibly can. And we've been very busy so far this morning. Just quickly wanted, sorry to interrupt you, Laura. We just wanted to bring this bundle into you so you can grab hold of this as well. Work amazingly with the emerald also.
Yeah, It's again, it's that kind of neutral, nude kind of colour of gemstone, isn't it? So it's not really a lot. It's not going to go with.
Do you know, nude? It's so fashionable, isn't it? Right now. Real nude shoes, said to elongate our legs, ladies, by the way, if you wear nude shoes.
Oh, I've got a pair of those.
Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? It does make sense, I suppose. A continuous colour. Same if you wear black trousers, apparently you should wear black shoes too, because it elongates your legs. Should be £18.85. I'm thinking holidays. These would be fabulous for holidays as well.
Yeah, and I love those stars. I just have to make a ring out of those and a pair of earrings.
Yeah.
They're great.
I think so as well. For your festival jewellery as well, they'll be fantastic. £9.95 again, massive savings for you this morning, your sandy beaches. It is a shell trio. You've got 2 strands of the round and 1 strand of the stars as well, which are double-sided, I should point out, so there's no front or back. So you can choose basically which one's your favourite. And look at that spectrum of colour flashing across the ones, the shell lustre here on that one piece. Beautiful. Well done. Okay, thank you for that, Laura.
That's
so
right.
you're
yeah, now all I'm doing now is I've gotten them both flat, and what I want is with my cuff frame is to be able to fit both the Viking knit sections in with a very small gap in the middle. So only a little gap, and that will enable me to stitch the gemstones into.
kind of like a channel set.
Yeah, kind of, but I mean, as I did it, it kind of pulled together anyway. But yeah, so it just enables you to sort of stitch the 2 centre parts together with the gemstones as well, so it's an additional feature. And I chose sort of 3 of the larger ones, and I deliberately chose a lighter one as the centre, again, just to break it up a bit. So what I'm doing now is taking my first piece, and when you take your knit off, you'll have one with a longer length, which is the end. So I want that to go towards the open part of my cuff, because that will be the end. And I'm just going to have it as my backup in case I need it to sort of secure anything. Okay. And so I've taken a fresh piece of 0.4, and what I'm going to do is literally stitch the loops. So you'll see that there's a loop there, and I'm just pulling this wire and I'm just stitching the sort of the looped sections too. So if I hold that up, you should be able to see. So you can see I'm just going to go through that loop.
You are literally sewing.
I'm literally sewing.
With wire.
And then just, you know,
round.
And then I would do that all the way along.
Is that what we call a running stitch?
Oh,
I don't know. You'll probably know. I don't know. I think it's a running stitch.
Possibly.
Or is that a running stitch?
Isn't it? Oh, I don't know. You're just taking your 0.4 wire, and yeah, I've got all these little loops, and I'm just going through a couple of times. So just that bottom loop there. So you can see just once, maybe twice, but whatever pattern you decide on, you kind of have to commit to. So if on like the long links, which are the rungs, you do 2 at the beginning, you're going to kind of have to do that on every single one just so that it looks consistent.
Yeah.
Because if I did that and then I sort of went, I'm just going, you know what, I'm fed up of doing that, I'm going to go like this. There's nothing wrong with you doing this, but it's going to look inconsistent if you see how that looks inconsistent.
Yeah, you want it to be even.
You want it to be even. So you might as well, if you're going to commit to doing that, then have it so it's the same all the way along.
Yeah.
And then, as I said, you would do the same with the second section and sew both of those on. And then with the end, what I actually did was folded one length all the way over. So you have the wires crossing here, like this. So one side does need to be longer than the other. And then that's just going to come up, and then what I did with the shorter side was I just basically looped it.
It's key to mention Laura's doing a mini version, obviously. So
just a mini version.
Yeah, this is it's a child bracelet.
Yeah, well, it's a pendant. Bracelet. It's a way to do a pendant. So you would cut that and then just form a loop, so that hooks around what would be the longer piece, and just close that so there's no sharp edges. So that would give you that finished look. And then this piece here, just again to make sure you can adjust it then, because what can happen when you're stitching these 2 together is you can sometimes pull the frame in.
Yeah.
So what you can do is do this at the very, very end. So you're all stitched in, you've got all your gemstones on. At the very end, you can then make sure you're happy with the shape and size. Take this, and again, this would be the back because the loop's on it. I would then just fold that wire down like that. Okay, and again, then just loop. I'll probably make it a tiny bit smaller, but just loop there, and then there's no sharp edges. And then remember I said about keeping these wires?
Yes.
So what this can then do is go through. What it can do is go around both those wires, and it would then just keep that back wire there locked in. It doesn't need a lot because it's a strong wire anyway, but it just gives that added security. And then I took some 0.6 wire and just decorated around the stones. A bit more additional security, and it just looked a bit nicer as well.
Lovely. Fed that through the middle, like sort of like a channel setter, basically, sewing on the gems.
So I sewed on, I did that bit, and then I sewed on those stones, and then I just took an additional 0.6 long length, and if I can just turn this around, I just attached it to the edge here, and then just went over, under, over, under, over, under, got to here, decorated these stones, over, under, and then went around the edge and then did it in the opposite direction.
Fabulous! Oh, I tell you what, she's good, isn't she? We're running out of time, but do you know what? That was amazing. Such a professional, Laura. Isn't she fantastic? Sellout kit, not surprised, and wonderful demonstrations. There's more coming up after this.
You can now book Jewellery Maker workshops online. Just head over to our Jewellery Maker website and click on the workshop link. We have a wide range of workshops from beginner to intermediate, covering a variety of mediums. Once you have found a workshop you'd like to attend, simply click on the Book Now button. Fill in the required fields and then press Continue. This will take you through to the payment page. If you have any questions, you can contact our workshop coordinator Wendy at any time by emailing workshop@jewellerymaker.com. We look forward to seeing you. Jewellery Maker have a special offer running on our workshops. If you book yourself on 4 workshops, you'll receive £50 off. We have a variety of courses to choose from beginner to advanced, covering a wide selection of mediums. This is a limited offer until the end of February, so book your places now to avoid disappointment.
Welcome back, everybody, and a very happy Sunday morning. I hope you're enjoying your day of rest. I love a Sunday.
Yeah.
I love a Sunday, you know, especially when you've got all the family round and you sit down to a nice roast dinner.
I'm going to a roast dinner tonight. I'm going to my mum's. Going straight to my mum's.
Is your mum cooking?
Yeah, well, once a month we're trying to do a family day where I go around my mum's with the kids and the husband, and we, you know, and then I sort of say, could you do today, which was fine, but I was like, I'm not cancelling my Sunday dinner. So
no, that just doesn't happen. Do you know what you're having? Beef, lamb,
with my mum,
chicken.
it'll be a feast. I know we've got a starter, it'll be soup and garlic bread. My mum makes homemade garlic bread, makes her own soup, and then there'll be, you know, roast potatoes, your puddings.
See, now I'm one of those. I'm a feeder. If ever you come round to my house, I am a proper feeder. Like, Tom despairs of me because he's Tom's one who's at the gym all the time, looks after, you know, really looks after himself, and I do a big. When I cook, I overcook. You know, it was Nigella Lawson who once says, "Never knowingly under cater." And I totally concur. Yeah, we're going out for dinner today. Mum and Dad are coming up from Wales, so I'm really looking forward to that. Anyway, happy Sunday. That's what I was getting at. I hope you have a lovely weekend so far. Let's make it all the better. If you did have a little bit of a lie-in this morning, you might have missed out on the bead scoop. That would be tragic, wouldn't it? That would be... Yeah, it would be terrible, because I know that jewellery makers, you ask us over and over and over again, and it's not that we're sort of copying you a deafen, we're not ignoring you, we're very responsive to all of your requests on jewellery, on our Facebook page, etc. But simply opportunities like this we can't bring you as frequently as we'd like to, and you'd like us to. Now, we launched last week, myself, I had the honour of doing it, bringing you the monochrome bead scoop. Pretty much sold out. We had 1,000 quantity. Today, we've launched the red, orange and earthy tones of your bead scoop. Now, there was, I should say, 1,000 quantity. How are we doing on stock levels, Kimbo? Okay, we've still got plenty, but a good proportion have gone already. What, 20, 30, 40%? Yeah? Fletch, she said, I can't even put a number on it, Al. The difficulty is that with a bead scoop, or with an opportunity like this where there's so many, because for a producer, most of you choose to buy 3s, 4s, 5s, they only register on our computer system as one, so it's very difficult for us to actually, for us here in the studio, to tell you exactly how many we've got. Anyway, there's plenty. Now, why does it take us so long to bring you a bead scoop? Because it takes us this length of time to actually accumulate all of the different gemstones. The benefits of bead scoops is that you get a mixture of gems, a mixture of cuts, a mixture of shapes, you get a mixture of colours, a mixture of tones, a mixture of textures. It's very affordable, so a way of purchasing multiple gemstones and all of the above at the smallest price tag, so great for the beginners. In fact, when my mum started making jewellery, she asked me about, so I think it was about a year or so ago, that she was interested in starting to make jewellery, and she said, Elle, can you get me the basics? So I did. I got her a basic toolkit, got her the Get Started DVD and the booklet, which comes with every order anyway. You don't even have to make a purchase with us here at Jewellery Maker. We'll send one out to you. And a bead scoop. That's what I got her, and she made lovely pieces of jewellery straight from that. We were talking earlier on about we were being all nostalgic about the NEC. If you came along to the NEC event, Ryan, did you go to that? You didn't. Oh no, of course, directors didn't have to go, so because obviously the live show still had to go on. But yeah, it was really tiring, but in a good way. And it was the bead scoop, which was your #1. That was what was on the radar for you. It wasn't necessarily the fact that all of our guest designers, or the majority of our guest designers, were there, and that's no disrespect to them, I'm sure they'd all agree. It wasn't that any of your hosts or presenters or crew were there. It was because you were going mad for the bead scoops. We got through hundreds of boxes, but obviously it meant that those stock levels were accumulated over that year for that one event. And of course, it was across lots of different channels then, because we were part of TGGC. Now, it's taken us, I think, about 12 months, maybe even 18 months to be able to bring you the relaunch of the bead scoop. This is what you're getting this time, so lovely earthy tones, great for all seasons. You might have Morganites in here. In fact, let's use this as an example. I know I've got Tiger's Eye, I think that's a Morganite just there. Red Jasper, I've got pearls in there, I've got shells, carved shells, it looks like I've got a bit of coral. More agates coming through. Basically, It could be anything, it could be any shape, could be any size. They are all completely at random. Obviously, I can't guarantee that you'll definitely get a red crackle quartz like this. I can't guarantee that you will get one cultured pearl like this, but it's more than likely you'll have a mixture of all of the above. You're not just going to have one gemstone, one cut. That's what our bead scoops are all about. And it's super, super, super affordable way of starting your stash. And if you're like us here at Jewellery Maker and you like to sort things out, because I love seeing your pictures on our Facebook page. There's loads of pictures on the Facebook page at the moment of people creating pieces from the bead scoops and sorting out those bead scoops. This is going to be ideal because you can get your hands in there. If I just look at the call screens, so many of you chose not just to buy one. I'm looking at 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s even, and you're not restricted at all. You can purchase as many as you wish, stock permitting obviously, but we had 1,000 initially this morning. We're only an hour and 10 minutes into the live show, but already hundreds have gone. Let's bring that price tag in for you. Just $4.95 for all of these beautiful genuine gemstones, which are just going to go on and on and on and on. And we were saying earlier on, Laura, that it's very deceptive how many gems you get within a bead scoop.
Yeah, definitely.
And how many pieces you can create.
Yeah, it is. And you know, it's like I said earlier, it's really great fun for me anyway to just see what's in there, and if you are having a bit of a creativity block or anything like that, just have a little play and just go a bit. I know some people struggle with random, but just to sort of pick a bead up, and you know it's all going to go because it's all the same colour tone.
Yeah, we've done the hard work for you, really, haven't we? Yeah. I'm just doing a little bit of sorting whilst Laura's actually talking here, and these are obviously off different strands, obviously, because they're all different shapes. But look how quickly, and that was literally as Laura was talking to you just there, I've got about 10 different gemstones, different shapes and sizes here. See those? All different shapes and sizes there, which are of a similar tone, which can be one piece. I could do exactly the same with your reds. Oops. With your red agates, or quartz rather. I love the fact that you have got all different gems in here. Even some coral can get mixed in there, even some pearl. That's the benefits of actually having a bead scoop like this. You get a really broad spectrum of gemstones and a really broad spectrum of cuts and sizes and carat weights. Gina, hello to you. Linda in Blaenau Gwent, hello to you. Angela, Kathleen, Belinda. I'd say probably about 85–90% of you have chosen to buy 2s, 3s, 4s even. I'm not surprised by that as well. It's a great way of starting your jewellery maker journey, and anyone that's been with us for any length of time, which I know it's a very big family. We've got over 55,000 likes now on Facebook, and we are across the world. This is a great way of replenishing your stash. I'm a savvy shopper. I like getting affordable deals. I still want the precious gemstones, I still want the rarity there, but I want to, if I can, acquire them at the most affordable price. I don't think our bead scoop can compare.
No.
In terms of price points.
No. And also, I'll tell you one thing I found, again, going back to the fact that we have bead scoops for quite a few of my workshops, people will often sit and look at them and they'll go, wow, is that the so-and-so?
Yeah.
Oh, is that the so-and-so? Because sometimes when you see it on air, you don't get to see it in its beauty. And it's a beautiful opportunity to see gemstones that you might not have bought.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you haven't appreciated how beautiful they are.
Do you know what I like the fact that sometimes you have the, does anyone know what this gemstone is? You know, and everybody's like, has a little go and a little guess at that. Sorry, I didn't see that text message. Was it Chantal said that, first thing I ever bought of JM was the bead scoop. Love them. Thank you, Chantal. One more message. Brenda in Essex. They make great rosary link necklaces and bracelets, as the variety of stones make them very random and attractive. I like that. A bit more sporadic. You're all about sort of...
I am.
Being organic and sporadic. Yeah.
It's like a challenge. Don't look at your beads.
Yeah.
Just pick one up and see what happens.
Yeah. We're going to have to move on because time is a-ticking, and we've already in this hour covered, gosh, huge opportunities like your bead scoop, but we're about to go into another star buy. This star bar is going to be amazing with your bead scoop, by the way. I haven't seen any pyrite within, well, our example here hasn't got any pyrite, but this would look fantastic with it. Gold coloured pyrite. Now, pyrite is a very lustrous gemstone, meaning the surface luster. Luster is the external surface of the gem. And how light reflects across that. We're not talking internal brilliance, we're talking across the surface. So diamond, pretty much all gemstones have luster. But when you coat pyrite, whether it be a colour, whether it be black, whether it be gold like this, look how it almost seems to enhance the surface luster. It's like you're wearing not just genuine gemstones, but maybe even tiny individual gold nuggets. That's what I always think of when I see pyrite faceted and coated in these gorgeous gold colours. You can almost imagine it being unearthed from the ground, can't you? You can almost imagine these being sifted through all of those big chunks of rock and through all of the big heavy duty machinery. If those of you that have maybe watched some of the programs on gold mining, or maybe done a bit of research or even gone to gold mines around the world, you can almost imagine this gemstone coming out of the ground. But the reality is, it does come out of the ground in a distinctly similar way. Pyrite, genuine gemstone, exceedingly rare, often referred to as fool's gold. And then when you add that trace amount of coating across the surface of the gemstone, which again, it's not a negative, in fact, it's a massive positive in my opinion right now, just because it adds to the overall sparkle and beauty, that lovely luster. And it does so by really taking that, what usually is an antique-y colour, to a really vibrant, buttery gold. Instantaneously, web bidders are getting involved. I love it. These are 2x1 right the way up to 4x2 millimetres in size. So there is a slight graduation, very wearable size rondelles. Just feed a couple of these, maybe in and amongst your bead scoop, just to give that pow, that big impact, that lift. Talking about day at the races, how about these, because they are, especially the 2x1, that smaller size. If you think about the hat that I'm wearing right now, if I wanted to fix gemstones to it, I wouldn't want them to be maybe the 10mm or the 12mm or even the 8mm or 6mm, because they're going to weigh down the feathers. But you could probably put the 2x1, sew them, or even glue them onto the ends of the feathers that we've got here, which again we do stock at Jewellery Maker, so you can recreate such designs. This star buy, we're going to have to bring that price tag in, because already lots of you are getting involved. Should be $6.95 for a long strand. There's 35 centimetres. So again, if you actually restranded it like this, it can easily go all the way around, maybe with the extender, with the actual chain itself. Never mind $6.95, we're taking it to $5.95 for you this morning. Day at the races, loving the deals that you are getting. It's going to work perfectly with all of your gemstones, really. Look at that. And just soft focus here on camera. You can really see that gorgeous sparkle. Looks amazing with everything. I can't think of a single gemstone that it won't complement.
No, it's going to go beautifully with everything. It's going to go beautifully with that first kit, with the emerald, that champagne gold, because that's going to give that real pop of gold through it.
Yeah.
But also it's good if you want to create a mixed metal look. So you could use your silver coloured wire, but have your gold gemstones and get that kind of two-tone effect that way.
Absolutely. I'm thinking if you just restranded this, you know, and walked past somebody who, you know, I used to have lots of ladies who came into the establishment that I worked at first, one of the first jewellers that was very high-end, and I used to kind of look, think, gosh, look at the clothes, look what they're wearing, look at their fabulous handbags, look at their wonderful jewellery, and it was aspirational, you know. I used to admire these ladies just because I thought, well, they looked so elegant, always looked elegant. If I can imagine this being worn, and I would have thought, especially from a distance, I mean, now we pick up, jewellery makers, we do pick up, okay, that's pyrite, because we see it a little bit more now. But if you saw from a distance, you'd be thinking, oh yeah, that's gold. Somebody's wearing 18 karat gold individual nuggets. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? And very, very rare. Anyway, need to move on, because I'm about to bring you some carved gemstones. I'm not going to move that. What's that, sorry? Oh, the Jasper. I'm not going to move this strand here. because these go alongside. Now, I launched these. I can remember it clear as day. Massively popular launch. Our managing director, Colin, one of his favourite strands, he actually spoke to Phil, and I was with Phil, wasn't I? I was with Phil, Phil, our producer, when we launched these. Colin spoke to us both directly about these and just said, look at the beauty, look at the skill that's gone into the actual carving detail, the fact that they are both sides as well. Let's do a really exciting launch. Colin was very excited about this strand, and needless to say, you were too. Lots of you are already enjoying working with these. Can you see? I'll take that pyrite out so I don't actually confuse anybody. You've got like a dusky rose, haven't you? Like a dusky rose, and that's the beauty of Jasper, because it does actually come in various different colours. So you've got dusky roses, you've got sort of blush pinks, you've got gorgeous greens and sort of bluish tones coming through. Then you've got a fusion of those colours. Wonderfully reflective surface luster. Can you see that bezeled edge on the girdle of the gemstone? So great for channel setting, maybe wire within, great for anchoring onto. These are on both sides as well, so if I just show you one, here we go, just picking this one up, there we go, carving on the front and also on the back. So really double the work, double the intensity that goes into of being able to sort of bring you this one strand. And there's multiple individual flowers. They're 16 millimeters each. The groove itself, now Laura, you'll be thinking practically for that groove, won't you?
I have that strand.
Did you buy it?
I bought it when you launched it. Yeah, I literally picked it up and opened it up this morning and had a look at it. It's beautiful.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, because I've only had a chance just to glance at it, but it is beautiful. That groove around the edge enables you to kind of do a bezel around it.
Yeah.
Because you're able to sort of sit a wire into that, and it's going to look like it's been whatever colour metal you choose around the edge of it. So it's going to really sort of give you a lot more scope.
Absolutely. I'm wondering even your half round wire.
Yeah, anything really. I mean, what you could do is a little cluster of them and kind of what it is called like chaos or sculpture, whatever you want, with this, where you sort of do a little bit of random swirls. But because you've got the grooves, you can go around the grooves of the stones.
Yeah.
And then it would just look like they're all set into a big nest.
Do you know what these would be lovely for? Mother's Day. We've got Mother's Day this time next week, so you'll get them home in time for Mother's Day, and you'll probably have even an afternoon or a morning or a few hours where you can sort of make something for your mother as well. Because I look at these and I do see a bunch of flowers. I can sort of imagine a bunch of flowers, hand tied together, where you've got the water at the bottom, and maybe even emulating that sort of a bunch of flowers with these gorgeous gemstones.
Yeah.
Something they could keep forever, your mum could keep forever, and absolutely stunningly beautiful. Hugely, hugely, hugely popular and successful launch, and Colin was absolutely right, our managing director. The skill that has gone into carving each of these gorgeous gemstones. I'm really drawn to this one.
That's beautiful, with a bit of copper wire around. That would be beautiful.
Amazing. And these over here, because they've got sort of spring-like colours, kind of like a big is it peony? Peony flowers. Now, these should be $12.95. But our managing director wanted a very special launch on these, and we're going to honour that special launch price. $8.95. 4, and I'll count them, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 individual pendants. And they are pendants, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. They're pendants, they're cuff features. Imagine just those with little spacer beads, all those little nuggets of pyrite. Yeah, in between each one is a stretchy bracelet. That's going to be
fabulous.
Beautiful.
Day at the races, absolutely. For weddings, absolutely. And again, hugely popular. Lots of you on the phone lines. Brenda in Essex, great for those of us who struggle with wrapping a cabochon to make a pendant. Yeah, absolutely, Brenda. Yeah. Great mind. Do you know? I'm thinking exactly the same. And you said something similar. You can anchor onto it, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
For people that I'm the same, Brenda. I really struggle with
wire wrapping. I really do. I don't know why. It's something I'm trying to get. But if I can make it life easier, because that is pretty much what I'm like, you know, anything, I'll keep things simple, Simon. Because you've got that drill point to go through as well, there's added security there. Yeah. And you've got that lovely bezel. $8.95 only. I love the tones. You've kind of got like a milky, dusky pink. If I just bring these up, colours for every occasion. Look at this one. That milky colour. Milky pink.
I think that's what appealed to me about them, was the fact that they're a nice size, but the colour range, the tones on them are just beautiful. And then it gives you a choice, because you're not limited to one set block colour. You've got that variety. But you know that gold cuff that we did, not the one that I actually demoed, but in the first kit, the other one with the wire focal, again, one of those in the centre of that would be beautiful.
Yeah, amazing. I totally agree with you. Just the different colours that you get, the spectrum, and that's the benefit of actually buying Jasper. And it is also a very wearable, durable gemstone. Loads of you with me. Good morning, Susan, Christine, Margaret, West Midlands, and Kenneth. Nice to be with you. I can't read everyone's name. I'll be here all day, but are they looking like they're going to sell out, Kimbo? Yeah. Okay, we might recap them later, stock permitting. Moving on to a great tool for, well, everything really, jewellery making. It's not just jewellery making, but it's DIY, it's electronics, it's bead stringing, and these are Zeron. So we have outsourced these. Zeron is a very reputable company when it comes to jewellery making, and these are your bent nose pliers, yes?
Yes, I haven't seen those before in the Zerons.
The 90-degree bent nose pliers. Now, look at those. And I'll read what's on the back. So I've actually got the packaging that comes. If I turn them around, you can actually see that 90-degree angle. And it's outsourced. They are micro shear brand flush. They produce lots of different cutters, etc. What is a micro shear? It says on the back. The term micro shear is a registered trademark belonging to Zeron, and it describes the blade bypass shear cutting action that is unique to Zeron cutters. So apparently, this tool actually allows you, and if you can imagine it here, to take small components and keep your wrist in a natural position and actually to feed them through.
Yeah, it's ideal for wire work, obviously. It's also ideal for jump rings, because if you know, I have got our version of them, and maybe it's good for you to compare, actually. I'll pass them over so you can see the difference.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, honey.
I'll always say that it's brilliant to have tools in different ranges, because you've got more detail in the Zeron ones. They're a finer tool. They're really good for that intricate, fine wire work or chainmail or anything like that, because they're more precise. So you'll see I use a lot of a mix of the standard tools, but I also have the Zeron tools.
Yeah.
It depends on the project you're working with.
Yeah, basically these will, if you can think, with jewellery making there's lots of nooks and crannies. Like earlier on you just saw with the lovely Laura, who was sort of feeding through with the daisy, Viking knit rather, and the daisy knit. These would be fantastic for that, because you can really get in those precision angles. So just showing you the difference between one set of bent nose pliers to the other. These are, you know, quite a dramatic difference in terms of the angles that you get. Zeron also make their pliers with a comfort grip, which not only is it going to hold in your hand, it's non-slip rubber, but also it's a nice length. So I've got quite small hands in actual fact, but they fit all different sizes as well, don't they? I think I had this conversation with, I forget who it was, but one of our other guest designers who was saying, well, I've got actually quite large hands, so it's nice that the handle length actually bypasses my hand. But yeah, I've got small hands, but yeah, I can use these quite easily, very, very, very comfortably. Now, coming your way, these are like the Ferrari of tools, basically. It's, you know, they're very high end. They are made to last, spring loaded as well, so they will bounce back after you've actually closed them. $19.95, and once you actually get one of these pliers, you know, you as long as you don't lose it and you look after it, then you never need to buy another one.
No, and like I said, I mean, I actually do want those. I haven't seen those ones, but I've got the round nose, the flat nose, there's something, it's like an in-between kind of nose, you know. I've got the cutters because it suits the type of work.
An in-between nose?
Yeah, I don't know what they are. They're tiny, but they're not a round nose and they're not... I'm not sure what they are, but they're really cool.
I'd love to see that on a packaging somewhere. Round nose, bent nose, 90 degree, in between nose. I'd love to see that.
I think it'd go down well.
I think it would work. I think it would, what? It does. Yeah, very clever. I think you should commission.
I should do that. Yeah.
You should commission Laura Binding in between nose. Stay where you are on those phone lines. Well done. And again, like I said, these are outsourced, made in the USA, so a real quality product there. Moving on to, oh my goodness, oodles of Moonstone. This is a clearance on all of this. My goodness, are we going to clear the entire vault out of every Moonstone strand that we've got? Certainly looks like it. How many strands have we got here? 10. Gosh, it's going to take me a while to sort them out. I might be here a while. Laura.
Wow.
What I love about Moonstone is not just the fact that it's a phenomena gem, as in you get that adolescence, but you do get all these gorgeous colours.
Yeah, the range that you get with it is just beautiful, isn't it? And
yeah.
It covers everything.
We launched the other day chocolate Moonstone.
I saw that, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It really pushed forward the adolescence, the performance of light. So don't think that Moonstone is just white. Quite the opposite, actually. It comes in a variation of colours. You've got 10 double strands, 360 degrees, so they could simply be, worn like so. It's great way of replenishing your stash, and this gorgeous gemstone, which is so globally renowned. Now, this is coming your way at literally a half price. Bang on, to the penny. Kim, my producer, is saying literally half price. So be on those phone lines now to guarantee success, because it is a clearance deal. How come this wasn't brought in the clearance then? Was it just missed? It was missed, okay. So we've kind of snuck it in right now. Or was that a deliberate move? Probably, it was a deliberate move. Saying, she's not even trying to deny it. Not even denying it. Yeah, this should have been brought to you in January's clearance. However, we've managed to squeeze it in this weekend. 10 strands of natural Moonstone. You've got beautiful peaches, whites, you've got greys, you've got earthy tones, oranges, whites, obviously, as I said. We should be bringing this to you incredibly at £28.50. Now, how come for thousands of carats worth, I can't even do the maths on these, but in terms of counting up every single one of those strands carat weight, but it is easily 4-figure carat weight. How come we can bring you here at Jewellery Maker such a huge carat weight opportunity at £28.50 already? It's pure and simply down to our buying power and the fact that these are those lovely organic chips and nuggets. We promised it to you at exactly half price, 50% off, £14.25. As you can see, that's not a price tag that price tag isn't seen on our screens very often. It's not generally a JM price, is it? It is pure and simply down to your clearance. Great way of starting your stash. If you've got this bundle in the bead scoop, still less than £20, you're away. You are away with a lot of gemstones as well, aren't you? I love our nuggets. It's the only facet of gemstone that we've actually got designated DVDs to.
Yeah, I guess you're right, actually.
It's the only cut of gemstones that we've actually got designated DVDs. So these are quite big as well. They're not the teeny weeny ones, the ones that disappear under your fingernail. Or you try and pick it, you're laughing because you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? Or you pick them up and they go ding across the room. These are substantial chips and nuggets. So those of you that maybe suffer with dexterity issues or maybe struggle with eyesight with the smaller individual chips, these are much bigger. Tons of you getting involved, and I'm not surprised for 10 strands. That's working out, hang on, £1.42 each for a double strand. They're all double strands.
Wow. And it's brilliant if you do things like Tree of Lives or anything like that, you can do the Tree of Lives, you can do the twisted tiara cuffs.
Like what's behind you?
Yeah, you can.
Can we show that?
Yeah.
It's just the Tree of Life behind you. I don't know who did this actually. It appeared
it was a customer.
Was it a customer?
A customer made it and gave it to the studio. Ooh, it weighs a ton.
It does weigh a ton. It's fantastic though. I always admire this. You could easily do a bead scoop, a gem tree like this out of this bundle, couldn't you?
You could, definitely. Sorry, I'm just placing down, it's quite heavy. Yeah, I mean, that's beautiful. And I think this has been done on the aluminium wire as well. So you've got, it's still quite lightweight, even though it's got all that wire. And it's just got lovely movement, hasn't it?
Can you imagine with the Moonstone as well, this done in that tree done in those? Because you just have plenty. In fact, you probably have more than enough gemstones. It's going to be a sellout. Thank you, Laura, for bringing that over. Well done. Stay on those phone lines. You've done it. You've done it. You've done it. Moving on to. Oh, these are pretty. Oh, you don't see shell pearl, which is faceted. I want to get these, they're lovely. Okay, when you get a pearl, I'm going to have to shimmy my bead scoops for a second. When you get a pearl, I'm not going to talk about the difference between a cultured pearl and a shell pearl, because I'm going to assume, rightly or wrongly, I know that you already know that a shell pearl is still genuine gemstones, it's just reconstituted. But usually they tend to be plain rounds, and I have got plain rounds here, but I've also got faceted shell pearls. So take a perfect 360 sphere and then actually incorporate the angles all the way around, and look how it plays with the light. But also a pearl tends to be very kind of like an off-white colour, doesn't it? It's more of a creamy champagne colour. If you're looking for that maybe for your special day and you're wearing a white wedding gown or something like that, and you want your pearls to be that real crisp white, then these are the ones for you. They're half drilled as well, so they're perfect studs. I'm loving these. Have I got my little grabber? No. Let me just, oh, here it is. Sorry, beg your pardon. Beg your pardon. Here we go. I'll pick up the one which is faceted first. Here we go. So you've got two lots, your plain rounds, and also your faceted rounds like this. Can they capture and play with the light? They're amazing, aren't they? Of course, a genuine gemstone, which has been reconstituted to be the perfect shape of a cultured pearl and half drilled so that they don't damage the one surface of the gemstone itself, so you can wear them as studs like so, you can suspend them like so. Amazing. But not just getting these faceted rounds, you're also getting the plain rounds, and I'll get those for you as well. These are stunning. What would you do with these, Laura? Because I'm going to say what I always say. Oh, simply, gosh, these are so big. I don't know if my grabber is going to hold it. Right, there we go. I just simply put them as stud earrings.
Yeah, I mean, the stud earrings are going to be beautiful, aren't they? But I mean, if you did want to go down that wire road, you could tiny bit of glue and just pop it in, and then you've got a length of wire, and you could just have that as a drop earring then if you wanted. Yeah. So you could incorporate it into your pieces with just a tiny drop of glue. And you could still then create that, you know, that woven piece or soutache around it or anything like that, but you won't get that bead hole, so you'll get that whole sort of round of that gemstone.
I've just had an idea.
Go on then.
I was looking at you and I was like, I really like your hat. Listen to you, obviously, I really like your hat. Imagine a couple of these on your hat.
Yeah, they'd be amazing.
That monochrome, they would look incredible, just on the end of the feathers and things like that.
Yeah,
just
add that little bit of detail, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
yeah.
Incredible. And all you'd need is a little bit of the really strong glue, basically, which we have on our website, which is designated to sort of your fabrics and your woods and your metals and everything, basically. So it's going to basically secure this to pretty much anything. We're going to go straight down. We've got quantity of these. Rare that you get an opportunity of pearl of any kind, whether it be biwa, keshi, cultured, baroque, whether it be cultured or whether they be shell pearl. Rare to get them in that very crisp white body colour. 36p each. What can you buy for 36p? I know I always say this, but 36p. Can you get? No, you can't get a chocolate bar.
No, you can't. Yeah, well, you could, but it's a really tiny one.
Yeah.
In the shape of a frog.
Which are just unsatisfying.
It's just not the point of it.
You end up feeling cheated, don't you, by those? I feel absolutely...
You end up going to buy about 5 of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking to a lady, bless her, that works in my local shop, and she was like, do you want some chocolate for £1? No thanks, I'll eat it. And she's like, I'm really impressed with myself. I've got chocolate by the side of my bed and I've only eaten 2 chunks. Wouldn't happen in my house. It just would not happen at all. You can't buy anything these days for 33p. Maybe, I don't know, a vegetable or something like that, which is very unbeautiful. Hey, listen, I appreciate Mother Nature, but I want genuine gemstones if I can. If I hold one of these up to the ear, just look how classic and beautiful they are, with maybe a little black dress. Day at the races, monochromes will be absolutely on trend. Look how lovely they are in the ear.
Yeah.
And so incredibly lustrous, aren't they? They're really reflecting and playing with the light. Wonderful. Stay where you are on those phone lines. Again, we'll go incredibly with your bead scoop, plus anything really. Anything that you've got in your stash. Moving on to... Oh, it'll definitely go with these. Right. I want to buy this bundle. I want to buy this bundle. It's 2 strands of cultured pearls. Is it really? Can you tell me the price, Kim? Kim just said the price is amazing. How much? No way. I'm going to buy this bundle, stock permitting. It's gorgeous. It's really sophisticated. When you think about this colour, I just think it's really classy. It's a really classy colour. It's like a glass of champagne. It's like your Zarites. Really elegant and exquisite. Perfect for day at the races, perfect for your mothers of the bride, or we were talking about actually, Laura, when we were saying that, you know, brides sometimes have that off-white colour, sort of champagne-y.
Well, the other hat that I was going to show you was the hat that my mother-in-law wore to our wedding.
There you go.
So that, I mean, obviously I appreciate it's not here, but it's pretty much the same colour as your kind of fascinator, isn't it?
Yeah.
So again, that type of gemstone, that kind of colour, is a perfect accessory for that type of headwear, really.
Absolutely. I'm going to take this off, and funny you should say, I bought this. I bought this for my cousin's wedding 10 years ago. 10 years ago, and look, you know, they do tend to last, don't they?
Yeah, I've been married nearly 10 years, so.
There we go. They do tend to last. But I'm just thinking, imagine a couple of these pearls strategically placed, maybe in amongst all of these. Look, look, look. That looks stunning. I want to get this, and I can revamp this hat. Look how beautiful it looks with the combination of the colours.
And that's the beauty, isn't it, that you're able to do something like that, that you're able to take something that you've owned for a few years and give it a bit of a revamp, you know, modernise it a little bit if you want to. I'm not saying it needs to be mod, but, you know, put those pearls on it, give it a little bit of a...
Embellish it.
Different look.
Absolutely, these are beautiful. Or simply restrand them if you wish as well. Well done, already lots of you on the phone lines. They are your champagne cultured pearls. They're a 7 by 6 millimetre gauge, so they're more of an organic shape, which I love because they're showing that they are formed within a living mollusk and that they are absolutely genuine gemstones. Kim has told me the price of these just because, well, I want to buy them. I want to buy them. 2 strands of genuine pearls. I like making your bridal jewellery. I like making your hair vines and your tiaras and your hair combs and things like that. This is a very workable size for all of the above. And oh gosh, $9.95 only. That's incredible. I went into Sheila's workshop where she had some lovely ladies who, many of which, you know, to be honest, some of them I was thinking, you don't need tuition on a workshop. Your pieces are incredible, and they already sell at wedding fairs. And I was admiring all of their wonderful skills and talent. This is the kind of bundle that I know will absolutely appeal to for your bridal-esque jewellery, but also every day. I would wear these on an everyday occasion. I would wear these down the shops, off to the pub. Not that I go to the pub very often these days, but on an everyday occasion, just because they're so classic and timeless.
They're ageless as well, aren't they? They're not something that you would associate with a certain age bracket. They're something that, you know, any generation could wear, and it would be something that you could pass down as well.
And don't you think, even as a youngster, you recognise the rarity and beauty of pearls, don't you? I'm sure if I spoke to my niece, who's 10 years old, and again, it looks like she's very much going to be following in, well, her mum loves gemstones, my sister-in-law, her grandmother, my mum, I certainly do. So it looks like she's following in our footsteps as well. If I spoke to her about pearls, I'm absolutely certain she'd know that they were a rare, genuine gemstone. She'd know that they were expensive and valuable. $9.95 is obviously no reflection of the true value or worth. Now is the time to be dialing, though. Tons of you getting involved. It's very, very, very busy this morning. I'm not surprised as well. I'm going to be making a mental note of that bundle because I want to get involved. And do you want something that's going to go perfect with this? Oh, the red. all of this, wow, it will go perfectly with this bundle. A load of Eslon, which is great for pearl threading, and more gemstones. In fact, I'm going to bring those pearls back, just because, look. So if you do your pearl knotting, you can either knot a similar colour like this in between, or you can completely contrast it with the likes of these. Oops. And look at all these gemstones. Let me move those pearls out the way so I don't confuse people. You have got 1, 2, 3 strands of your beautiful red tiger's eye and 7 spools of your lovely Eslon in various different gauges. So the 0.3 is great for your pearl knotting. Then you've got your 0.4, which is great for well, multiple beadings really. You've got soutache opportunities here, you've got kumihimo opportunities here, you've got macrame opportunities here, and of course your phenomenal gemstone that comes in your lovely tiger's eye. We were talking about how colour being influenced to this gemstone often actually encourages forward the chatoyancy, and I truly do believe that. 870 metres of Eslon in the various different colours, which are, and I'll read those out to you: Shanghai red, natural Eslon, mustard yellow, brown, bronze, sand, gold. So I think that's all of them. All different gauges as well, right the way up to your 0.9 millimetre. Your 0.9 millimetre is in, let me see. Oh no, I beg your pardon, they're 0.4. 0.4 millimetre in your natural, your red, your brown, and your mustard, and then you, and also this lovely gold here. Then you've also got the 0.3 in that sort of natural khaki, almost khaki colour. Amazing. For your warm toffee swirl. Yum, 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 yum. I love the description of that, of this bundle as well. And it's absolutely right and appropriate. What would you do with these lot? Because this is a bundle, again, which will get you started in jewellery making, won't it?
Definitely. And this might shock you, because obviously people know that I don't tend to sort of do that kind of material work. But yesterday, you had a blue version on with Nadia.
Yeah.
And I actually bought that. I bought 2. I bought one for myself and one for my mum. Because when I was on doing that Mammoth Week, I had a couple of kits that want my normal style.
Yeah.
And it was nice just to experiment and play about with them and to see how you could use other materials that aren't necessarily something you naturally go to straight away. So for me, I bought it because I loved doing the macrame with it. Very simple, just on a piece of wire, but using that coloured macrame around the gemstones just to get that kind of pop.
It does really, really add to it, doesn't it? I mean, I think the more frequently well-known macrame, I mean, there's lots of big brands, and I won't quote them, but that do that kind of caging of one gemstone all the way around, begins with S.
Yeah, yeah, but that's all I did was that flat, it's a flat knot
but
at the end of the day.
But using the colours.
But using the colour, I used the blue on a copper wire base with copper beads, and it looked really poppy. So again, if you like your kumihimo, if you like your macrame, if you like anything like that, for me, I've bought that bundle yesterday because I enjoyed doing it and I want to play about with it a bit more. Also, it's quite good for weaving in a cuff as well, I've discovered.
Yeah, lovely. That'll look really nice. Absolutely incredible. And again, all of you getting involved already. Lots of deals coming up throughout the course of this morning. We're busy, busy, busy. Should be £26.50. However, today, I've been told time and time again, just one of these spools of Eslon can sometimes be up to a tenner elsewhere. With your postage and packaging, you're getting 7 plus your genuine gemstones for £19.95. If you're on those phone lines, if you're checking out on the web as well. So 3 strands of genuine tiger's eye. 7 spools with the variations of the actual thread dimensions. So the 0.3 in particular, I would be using with your pearls because you do need a slightly finer gauge. I mean, you can always bead ream a pearl, you can always make that hole a little bit higher, but if you don't want to go to the trouble of doing that, then get the smaller gauge of your Eslon. But the 0.4s, yes, Nadia, who was with me yesterday, was micro macrameing with. And it's wonderful. And I was thinking, if you look at Nadia's work, she's well, wonderful, firstly, and her demonstrations are absolutely amazing. But if you look at the intricacy of micro macrame, straight away you think, oh gosh, that's really, really hard work. But actually, you can follow it and it progresses. It's a course of knotting. Well done. Stay where you are on those phone lines, because I need to move on. More Eslon? Well, I tell you what, if our lovely Laura is wanting to step into your knotting and your threading and your macrame more. Oh, I love that hot coral. Kim, this is one of my favourite bundles of Eslon. The colours are amazing. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Oh, I'm going to try and mix it up so you can see all the different colours. So beautiful. Which one's your favourite? My favourite's the coral. This one here. This is Kim's favourite. Yeah, no, I'm loving this one here. Look how beautiful that is. Imagine, this is incredible as well. There are only 84 and already flying. Lots of love. Ah, imagine tassels with these. Imagine these in fascinators. Because it is quite a day at the races.
Yeah, definitely. And again, if you do anything like, imagine if you did kumihimo and you mix those together, you'd make a really beautiful braid.
All of them would work together as well, wouldn't they? The orange works with the coral and the pinks and the purples and the fuchsias and the reds. Love this. This is my favourite bundle of Eslon. I think it's a lovely colour, really intense. And again, yeah, just braiding them in a normal way like you would do hair. If you just get loads of lengths, can really create that really big impact. We've got double figure quantity, or rather, yeah, we had how many? 84, and it's absolutely flying on the web, so please, please, please be on those phone lines. Almost 40 in baskets already. Press check out as soon as you can. We're going to take that price straight down. This is my favourite colour palette. I think it's amazing. I love coral. I think coral is a really beautiful colour, especially for the races. You're going to stand out, aren't you? You're really going to stand out in that colour. And if you're a bit too, like me, I'm a bit of a coward when it comes to what colours to wear in a dress or a suit or something like that. But I'm not afraid to wear it in jewellery and gemstones and accessories.
It's funny, isn't it, how, you know, you find to wear, yeah, I know exactly what you mean, because I'm pretty much the same. Like, if I was wearing something really bold, I'd be like, oh, I don't feel comfortable. But I'd be happy to wear the necklace that was bold with my black outfit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of a more subtle way of wearing those big, vampy colours, I guess. It's going to sell out. Are we oversubscribed? Yeah, I thought so. Well done to every single one of you, and you do need to have that certain sense of urgency this morning. We are very, 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 very busy. What's your favourite colour? See, Ryan's saying the maroon. What, this one? It's like a crimson, isn't it? That's more of a like sort of purpley, Iolite blue, that is really. It's like an Iolite blue, and then this one down here is more of an electric blue. Then you've got a definite orange, more of a dusky pink. Definitely the hot coral's my favourite. Love it. And then Kimbo's loving this kind of fuchsia purple. That's the best way I would describe it. What's your favourite, Laura?
Probably would say the bluer colours, just because I'm more drawn to like the bluer colours.
These two?
Yeah. But they work lovely, sorry, with the sort of coppery colour that's on top of it.
This one?
No, other side.
This one?
Yeah.
Orange, that is actually.
Yeah, it's like a coppery orange, like a rusticy kind of orange. It's not like a bright orange.
Yes, it's like Tuleli specitite garnet orange.
Yeah, I think it's that, you know, you team that with the blue and it's going to look beautiful. Yeah. But imagine if you did cabochons, like Nadia does with the micro macrame and around them.
Fab. Love them, love them, love them. Okay, moving on. Now, to get, there's less than 50 of these available. To get a bundle of citrine, one of the world's favoured gemstones, and it's actually got a really strong symbolic message, this gemstone. If you believe in myth and legend, the wearer of citrine, if it's a good quality citrine, will be brought, I have to concentrate on this word, prosperity and wealth. You can understand why, because it has got that liquid gold appearance, hasn't it? Stunning. Now, there's only 33 of these available, and already interest there. You've got 1, 2, 5, 5 strands with your bead scoop that you saw earlier on today would be absolutely incredible, of really rich, vibrant, buttercup yellow, golden citrine. The more intense those primary yellows are, the more valuable the citrine is, and there is no denying whatsoever that you have got exceedingly high quality citrine here. With that clarity, obviously, like rays of the sun have been encapsulated by Mother Nature's gemstones here. Fabulous. But you know, weeks can go past before I see one citrine strand to another, let alone 5 in one bundle opportunity, especially in its rarest form. Especially because this is a gemstone, sorry, in its natural form, I meant to say. Excuse me. Because citrine can be heat treated to intensify those golden colours, but this needed none of that. They've got those gorgeous, definite buttercup yellows. They've got that perfect for the spring and summer, isn't it? Just amazing for the spring and summer. And those of you that sort of do believe in myth and legend, you'll already know of the very positive connections and associations that this gemstone actually has alongside it. Well done, already loads of you getting involved. I only wish I had a bigger quantity. It's busy, busy, busy this morning, from all of the different sizes to some very irregular shards to smaller nuggets. You've got more of a rondelle shaped boulder, I guess, and then you've got large nuggets like this. So our very own beautiful Duchess of Cambridge, the wonderful Kate, Princess Kate, lots of people call her different things, but I call her Duchess of Cambridge. She loves this gemstone. She wears citrine loads and loads and loads, particularly in the ear. If you actually look on the web, Duchess of Cambridge citrine, you'll see lots of pieces of jewellery that she's chosen to wear. And let's be honest, she could wear whatever she wants. Whatever she wants. For 5 strands of one of the world's most cheerful, uplifting, positive gemstones, $21.95. But weeks pass where I can bring you one citrine to another. Weeks. Please don't think that quality like this is abundant or fruitful, because it really, really, really isn't. And I don't know, actually. I'm going to speak to Hannah Roxbury about it. Is there a real scarcity? Have you, on our reports, Kim, I mean, you do your scheduling, hardly any, Kim's saying to me. Yeah, have we got a real scarcity? Because it kind of makes me think that maybe there's a scarcity globally. Potentially. I'll ask the question. I will ask the question. All stunning citrine. Might be different locations, with that consistent buttercup yellow. Now I've got time to quickly squeeze one more bundle in before I bring you your star buy, which is coming up at the Labradorite shards at 10 o'clock. But before that, sorry? Wow. All of these cords and 2 strands of faceted rondelle. They look like lavakite, yeah. You've got the phenomenon. I wonder if these are lavakite. I don't know. They certainly look like it. And they're already readily stranded. That's all you need to do. They're knotted in between. So not just 1, but 2 strands of those, plus also all of this wax cords in your black, your grey or silver, whichever way you look at it, and also your white. You get 10 metres of each, and they're all 1mm gauge. 30 metres in total of your wax cord, and all of this gorgeous shimmering black dyed quartz, so much so that we're actually questioning whether it is quartz or whether it's lavakite. I personally think that might be lavakite, but either if it is, then that's an absolute Brucey bonus for you. It really is. Should be £19.75. £10 reduction. If these were lavakite, or if they are, I don't know, they wouldn't be under £10.
We have this discussion every time I've been on, I've seen these on, we've had a discussion. I just can't believe that they're not lavakite.
I can't. I mean, these things do happen. We have like administrative errors from time to time, you know, and it's going to happen, unfortunately, but it's actually a positive right now for you. If you've never heard of lavakite, and we spoke to Steve Bennett, said, lavakite? We actually had to show him what it was because he said, I've not seen it. Very, very, very rare and exciting. A phenomenal gemstone. It's considerably rarer than quartz. I mean, either or. It doesn't really matter. They're both beautiful gemstones. It certainly would not be priced at under £10 for the wax scored and 2 big, beautiful graduated strands like this. Incredible. And again, the 1mm, yes, it's looking like it will go through the drill hole of the gemstones as well. So incredibly busy this morning. Thank you for joining us. So nice to have your company as always. We've got a day at the races going on here, dedicated to the GGs. And you know what? The next designer inspiration is all about our lovely GGs.
It is.
Are you quite equestrian, Laura?
Not really. I do love horses, and I have done horse riding and things like that, but it's just not something I've actually been able to get involved
in, like our wonderful Jenny Cleary.
No, or Fleur or anybody like that.
Yeah. I really do appreciate them, but yeah, I'm the same.
Such a big commitment.
It is a really big commitment, yeah, absolutely. But just because we don't necessarily ride them every day doesn't mean that we can't enjoy these wonderful creatures. And next designer inspiration is definitely those perfect. As in the tuition, if you've ever wanted to make your own horse pendant, then make sure you do stay tuned because the kits are incredible and more amazing deals. Namely your star buy, which is those wonderful, wonderful Labradorite shards. And I've also got some incredible Ethiopian opal coming up after this.
We are live every day from 8 AM to 9 PM. So come and join in and get creating with Jewellery Maker. Owning a strand of genuine gemstones is always exciting, but being able to use it in your handcrafted jewellery, then passing it on to its new owner with proof of its authenticity is even more incredible. Why not add one of our printed authenticity cards to your order and share that same feeling with your customers? You can also access online authenticity certificates for items you have previously ordered by looking at your order history on your account details. The certificate gives you valuable information about your purchase and is your guarantee of quality and peace of mind from Jewellery Maker.
Sapphire is an incredibly important gemstone. It actually comes in a vast array of colours. I think commercially we always think of gemstones like sapphire as being blue, but it is available in pinks, yellows, greens, purples, and even vibrant tones such as orange. Sapphire itself is the birthstone for September, making it a really beautiful, unique gift if you want to personalise your collection. It's also 9 Mohs on the hardness scale, which means it's incredibly durable if you want to wear your jewellery pieces every day. Sapphire has been revered since ancient times for its beauty and its lustre. It's been used from the Middle Ages right through to modern day. Today's modern day piece in sapphire, which captures the nation's imagination, would be the engagement ring given to Princess Diana. That ring is now being worn by Kate Middleton, and we have seen a surge in people buying sapphire as the ultimate love gift.
There are 4 easy ways to stay in touch with Jewellery Maker. You can like our Facebook page and join a community of over 54,000 people. You can follow us on Twitter and tweet us your messages and opinions, send photos of your designs and enter our Wall of Fame competition. Or if you need any help or advice, you can email our friendly help team. Make sure to get involved and stay up to date with Jewellery Maker. There are 2 easy ways you can purchase from Jewellery Maker. You can watch our show on Sky, Virgin, Freeview and FreeSat and call our free phone number where you'll be put through to our friendly help team who can place your order. Alternatively, you can go to our website and click to register. Once you've filled in the required details, you can start shopping. You can watch the show by clicking on the Watch Live Show button on the homepage. You can also use our quick search tool and narrow down your results. Once you have found an item that you like, simply click on the Add to Basket button and you can continue shopping or check out right away. Don't forget, you can add as many items to your basket per day for only 1 P&P. Enjoy shopping with Jewellery Maker.
Welcome back, everybody. Lovely to have your company this morning. My name's Elena and you're watching Jewellery Maker. I'm joined by the one and the only Laura Binding. How are you doing, honey?
I'm good.
Good, good, good. Are you all right there, Wes, for a second? Just need to check because you just tripped over. Are you okay? There's our Wes, everybody. Ladies, Wes is in the house. You've got a real following, Wes. Did you know that?
Have I?
Yeah, very popular. You came up in our meeting. You came up in the meeting the other day that we said it to Colin, actually. I didn't tell you this, Wes. We said it to Colin because they're like, yes, so our Jewellery Maker, you love Wes. You love him. We need a little bit more of you on screen, I think. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, right. Oh, I tell you what else we love is Ethiopian opal, and I understand why totally, but we've never brought you anything like this before. I think it's amazing. It's certainly the first time I've ever seen it anyway. When you take opal, and sometimes when you got them on a strand, so they're butting up next to one another, because the light can't actually be influenced to the entire surface of the opal, you're not seeing maximum impact on the play of colour. Does that make sense? When you actually get opal which has been rosary linked, because they've got that separation, light is influencing the majority of the gemstone, so you can really, really capitalise on the beauty of the play of colour. I'm literally glancing down to my T-bar and I can see the amount of performance internally on every single one of these rondelles are literally leaping off the T-bar at me. I want to buy this. This is very high quality. Next time, not right now because you do need to be acting and dialing and on the phone lines and checking out. Next time that you are, I don't know, in a local very high-end jewellers which sells quality Ethiopian opal, in your precious metals, obviously, which I'd imagine they would be anyway, see if you can find anything of this grade. Oh, Laura, look.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Isn't it?
Yeah. It's just so soft and...
I want to buy this.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The length, I haven't got the length. Is it 1/2 metre? Let's have a look. Yes. Yeah, 1/2 metre. So 50 centimetres, 19.5 inches. Of solid sterling silver with your rondelles, quality Ethiopian opal. And look how just separating them really encourages the quality of play of light, those silica spheres. Look. Oh. I'm buying this, stock permitting. And all I'll do is get a sterling silver, rose gold plated clasp, attach it to either end, and wear it as it is. And I'd be multi-buying as well.
I think the fact that you can see that clarity on the screen there goes to show how beautiful that strand is, because it's so hard to capture that on that stone.
It is. Normally, if you've ever seen me sort of shelter like this, it's because our studio lighting here can drown opal out sometimes. I don't need to shelter it. You can see that play of colour, can't you? You can see those reds, those greens, those yellows, those blues, those purples. I'll do that, again, because it gives you a more accurate image, I suppose, of what you're actually going to get. It's only going to get better. It is only going to get better. That's the benefits when you see it now to when you actually have it in your fair hands. When you have it, you know, on your doorstep. It's only going to be added to. Straight away, Christine and Linda in West Midlands multi-buying. I really want to buy this because I'm thinking I'd like to make one for my mum and myself.
That would be beautiful.
I just think that'd be a really nice Mother's Day gift. Corinne in Norfolk, gorgeous. Not risking them running out. I've got mine now. Corinne, do you know what? I'm envious right now because I want to do exactly that. Exactly. I want to be on those phone lines right now. Sometimes we're in a rock and a hard place when it comes to opportunities like this where it's, oh gosh, but I want to buy it for my mum. I know she's not going to watching because she's going to be heading up to us very, very shortly right now. Stunning, isn't it? Look at the quality. When it comes to Ethiopian opal, you've got a semi-translucency. It's more of a crystal opal. Rather than sort of Kubapedi or Australian opal, which is more of a milky body colour, means that a little bit more opaque, so the play of colour is more across the surface. Not necessarily, you can't really see the play of colour into the heart of the gemstone. This is why Ethiopian opal is my personal favourite, and it is all personal choice, obviously. I'm not saying one is better than the other, it's just personal choice. I adore Ethiopian opal for the reason that you can see not just across the surface of the gemstone, but kind of into the heart, where you'll still see those flashes of reds, of blues, of greens, of yellows, of pinks. I'm not even sheltering this, and you can see all of those lovely colours. When I talk about sheltering, we've got hundreds of lights here in the studio. They actually drown out what opal actually truly will look like here when you get it home with one light source, like the sun, like I don't know, a light fitting, like whatever that might be. So that's why sometimes you'll see me do this, shelter it ever so slightly so it's a little bit more accurate and you can see exactly what you're going to get at home. Just take it from me, it'll be a lot better than what's here on the on your screens right now. And does it come any better than that? Victoria, OMG, how stunning is that? Isn't it stunning, Victoria? I reckon you could walk into most high-end jewellers and have the courage to do this. I understand it's quite intimidating. I've done it myself. I understand it's quite scary. If you walk this into a high-end jeweller and said, look, this is solid sterling silver with your rose gold overlay and it's Ethiopian opal, any jeweller that understands their gemstones, which you'd hope that they would, wouldn't you, will know the rarity of Ethiopian opal currently. They'll also know that the main seam's no longer in production, and they'll probably snatch your hand off to buy this from you. Absolutely flying. I'm joining you. How many have we got of these, Kim? Left? 50 have almost gone. Okay, we had 99. 50 have almost gone. 20 in baskets. Approaching 30. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, folks. Whilst you are dialing, whilst you are checking out, I'm going to say nothing because you're going to get this home in a few working days. And I know you're just going to be absolutely blown away. Incredible. Oh gosh, do you know, do you know what, everybody at home, I'm so sorry. I'm so awe-inspired by this, I've even forgotten to mention the price. I'm so sorry, it didn't matter to me. I was like, you know what, I'm buying it anyway. I've totally forgot about the price. Laura, you don't see opal like this every day, do you?
No. And when you're doing that, I can just see the glow. But the fact that you were able to just put it in front of the screen without doing any shadowing and you're still able to see that fire.
This is shadow free.
I mean, look at that shadow free. That's amazing. Can you imagine if you were out, you know, out in the sun and the light hits that? It's going to be amazing. It kind of makes your skin glow when you're wearing opal of that quality, doesn't it? It bounces and reflects on you.
Wow, 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 wow. I really want to buy this.
Oh, please tell me we've got more of these somewhere, Kim. We haven't. Aren't they amazing? I'm so pleased for you. 60 of you have got it in your baskets. Well, can I just say, it's a long shot for you now, really. Unfortunately, most of you, those of you that checked out, well done. Hand on heart, some of the finest opal that you could wish for. Those of you that have it sat in your basket, it's not going to stay there. It's not. You're probably going to be told that you've missed out on this opportunity. Oh, fabulous quality. Down to the last 20 opportunities. And again, we've got people who are buying 2s, 3s, 4s even. Veronica, London's bought 4. I wonder if that, again, retailer maybe. Surrey's bought 2. Congratulations. Norfolk's bought 2. Diana's bought 2. Tessa's bought 2. Is it? Straight, has it gone? Maggie's like, put your thumb down. I'm like, it doesn't bend that way, Maggie. I'm trying. It's worth it, isn't it? That's all right, I'll dislocate my thumb for you. So you can see in homage to the quality. I'm absolutely envious of you right now. I really, really am. Well done. Well done. That's incredible. Is it time for the Labradorites? Okay, let's get what I call the housekeeping out of the way. There is 112 of these available in the entire world. No more, no less. That's it. 112, not nearly enough. It's one of your favourite gemstones and they do not come as big and in this shape every single day. It's one of the most dramatic, one of the most dynamic. It's a dynamic gemstone, but then if you actually shape it and fast it in the way that we have done here, wow, it really, really makes an impact. It kind of reminds me of the Shard in London. Have you seen that building? I tell you what, from a distance, it's very, very imposing. Very imposing. And you can see the reflection of the light and, bouncing off the windows themselves. That's what this gemstone does. Obviously, a lot more beautiful than that. But this is what I'm getting excited about. Look at the quality of labradescence that you're getting here. Hang on. I'm going to hold this out, maybe, because I don't think you're seeing it at the right angle. Tell you what, I'll go across every single one at a time. So, beyond those phone lines. Amazing. I'm just literally influencing it to the light. No trickery, just influencing it to the light. And I could do that on both sides and you would see that gorgeous phenomenal effect. Let's move along. I've got the most amazing rainbow effects coming from this angle. It's the angle that we're looking at basically and sat at. I wonder if I turn my hands this way. Oh, there you are. You can start seeing the rainbow colour coming through. There. Just finding the angle, that's all. And you'll obviously do this naturally. Look. Move along again. Well, then, that's like a that's like a forest with a really crisp blue sky in the background. Can you see that? Fantastic. Move along again. Well, this is all about the greens. Look at the spectrum of colours in the one next to the one I'm holding. Doesn't want to wait. Its turn. It's saying, "Look at me! Don't look at this one. Look at me!" Wow. The reds are the rarest colours as well. It's referring to the distance of wavelengths that the colours actually have to travel to meet the eye. That's the rarest colour to get. More frequently, you will actually see the sort of coppery tones and the blues. The red is the rarest to get. These are stunning. Absolutely breathtaking. And they are all that really dramatic, dynamic shard-like shape. Incredible. Also great for sort of not just suspending, you can also elevate these, Laura. What would you do with them? As I've seen so many of your amazing wirework pieces over the years, and I obviously I'm a huge fan. So when you actually get a rare cut and shape like this, what would you do with them?
It's something, again, that you don't want to distract from the fact that you've got that beautiful stone. So there's a couple of things I would do. I would, because you've got that drill hole, I would just feed a wire through it and then have 2 wires and weave going down the front. So like if you did a section of a weave, like a 5 and 3, which is 5 wires around 1, 3 around 2, and just spiral it down the front.
Yeah, that's
with
a nice
the
idea.
tail, the wires. So it's that detail on the front, but you're still not distracting from it. And the other thing is to keep it set and mirror with heavy gauge wire the shape.
Yeah.
So it goes around the outside, so that stone sits suspended in the middle of almost like a replicated shape, and you could do that with, say, 3 of them, and then you'd have the metal around outside the stone.
That's a nice idea. I'm thinking these could be amazing crosses as well.
Yeah.
So if you've got like the 4 prongs, 4 points of the cross rather, they could be a real big statement cross pendant. They'd be fantastic as that. Brand new, 112 of these are available. Totally and utterly natural. This gorgeous phenomenal gemstone is always one of your most popular and a great way of grabbing attention. It is fascinating in so many ways, and every single person I think that loves labradorite or has seen this labradorite usually says, yeah, it's one that really gets the brain ticking over. Gents tend to love it as well because it has got a certain sense of masculinity as well. Already loads of you getting involved. We're going to have to go straight down to that price because lots of you get making those confirmations. Bring that price in straight away as soon as we can. $19.95. $19.95 for these amazing shards of labradorite. Look at the greens, look at the colours that you're getting through with all of them. And believe me, they are only going to get better when you actually see them in true light. Again, here it's similar to the opal actually. Our studio lighting does not do labradorite any favours whatsoever. You only have to look on the web on our Facebook page, all of the pictures that so many of our regular jewellery makers actually upload. Look at the difference between the blues and the greens. It's such a visual gemstone. This is a handful of the collectors that have already made those confirmations. Well done, so nice to have your company. I think these would be amazing as tiaras and fascinators as well, just because you can elevate them. They are drilled through the top or bottom, whichever way you want to look at it, of course. So great for creating that sort of asterism style.
Sort of that sort of really modern day kind of tiara type crown effect, couldn't you? Sort of again have 3 of them. Sort of spaced,
a bit like a snow queen.
Yeah, it'd be really cool, wouldn't it?
Like,
very dramatic.
Yeah, a bit like, what's her name? Angelina Jolie off Maleficent.
Yeah, but then see, when I got married, I had short, spiky hair, so I could a sort of tiara like that would really stand out. Or if you had your hair sort of like long and layered down, it would look really cool.
Yeah, it really would. Well done. Stay where you are on those phone lines. I'm running out of time, but it doesn't mean that you have. Stay where you are, because we're into the next designer inspiration. Time's flying when you have fun. I'm joined by Laura Binding. It's always fun. Always fun. Now, your first kit.
Yeah.
Second kit.
Second kit.
We're talking about. This is all about the GGs. What's the name of this kit? Why are the long face, Laura Binding?
Yeah.
If you got rid of the why are the long face with Laura Binding?
Great, isn't it? I know.
She never has a long face, Laura. You always have. Oh, I spoke too soon.
Yeah, it cracks me up, some of the names that you get.
It's Pip, isn't it?
It's a Pip.
It's
It's got to be a Pip kit.
Who, by the way, is probably supping champagne right now in a hot tub
Yeah.
somewhere in West Wales. Not too jealous. Not too jealous. Now, oh, I've not seen this colour before.
No, it's new, I think.
Have we got a new colour of wire?
Yep.
Hold up. When did this arrive? This is your gunmetal coloured wire. I've not seen it anyway. Oh. Now you've got here 10 metres of your 0.8, that's this one. And then on the bottom you've got 10 metres of your 0.4 in that gunmetal grey. Oh, I love it. It's kind of like a titanium colour.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's a very, again, a very sort of unisex kind of colour because it would, you know, go both ways.
Great for your gents' jewellery. You're always asking us jewellery makers to sort of cater for the gents' jewellery more. This brand new, never been on your screens before. Was it yesterday or the day before that our lovely Martha had the launch of the white metal? This is the launch of the gunmetal. It's not been on your screens. Never been on your screens before, and it's gorgeous, isn't it? Now, not just getting this, mind. This is your should-be price. This is where we should be stopping. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strands of genuine gemstones and more wire to come. But I'd want you to be on the phone lines now. Now, even if you don't press your option 1 yet. That's nowhere near your price. Brand new launch. Guess what? Okay, how many have we got, Kim? There's 99 of these. It's going to be better than half price. So what does that tell you? You don't have to be a mathematician to work that out. Okay, moving on. You've also got these lovely colours. Be on those phone lines. There we go. For the wire alone. For the wire alone, you've got 100 metres here of your 0.25 in that lovely crisp silver colour. And then you've got 10 metres of your 0.8 in the other silver colour. So you're getting all 4. I'd pay... Well, okay, you've already just told me that it's less than £20, Kim. Did you hear that, Laura?
No.
This kit is going under £20. I'm going to bring the price in straight away. I haven't even shown you half of it. I haven't even shown you the rest of the kit yet. 14 baskets, like that.
Wow.
I'd pay that for the wire.
Yeah. It's lovely combination gauges as well for me. I love my 0.8 and my 0.25 because you can create really fluid pieces.
Yeah. 0.8, 0.25, another 0.8 and a 0.4. So you've got in the titanium colour. You'd pay that, wouldn't you? I'd be multi-buying to get more of the white of the gunmetal.
Yeah, definitely.
I have to bring your gemstones in too, don't I? A double strand of Labradorite. Look at these, beautiful. It couldn't be more perfect. The gemstone combinations to go along those gorgeous wires. I'm going to stack it up like this so you can actually see them alongside. Couldn't be more perfect, could it? Another strand of Labradorite. These are faceted rounds or coins. And they measure, I'm just trying to get the sizes. Puffy coins 6 to 8 millimetre. So they are sizable and significant. Then we've got your black agate plain rounds, which are, these are the, oh sorry, obsidian. Obsidian, rainbow obsidian, more to the point, 8 millimetre plain rounds. So when you get really close to this gemstone, you'll see a glow, a movement, if you like. It's like a gemstone which kind of reminds me of the galaxy. Has it sold out? Wow. Wow, that's going to be one of the fastest selling kits ever. Has to be. And then 2 millimetre plain rounds of your black agate like this. Sold out. Sorry if you've got it in your basket, it's already gone. And you haven't even seen Laura's wonderful jewellery. Don't worry, we will go to it, of course. We will have your designer inspiration. Absolutely incredible. Now, obviously, because this is sold out, we have to remove the graphics. So, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll bring the graphics in for the bead scoop. Well done to those of you that got that new coloured wire. Amazing. A gorgeous colour, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. It's very, it's like you say, it's like that soft version of the black, really, because it's that more subtle tone.
Great for gents jewellery.
Yeah.
And I'd wear that, and I know Tom would wear that,
Yeah.
my partner as well. Now, someone's been busy. Is this you, Laura?
Yeah.
Have you been stranding our bead scoop? You did a little bit of it.
Yeah, but it's on a 0.4 wire, so yeah.
So hang on, that's over half a metre, and you've still got all of that there.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? Put the graphics on your screen for your bead scoop. These are the oranges and reds in your bead scoop. So you get lovely red crackled quartz, you might get coral in there, you might get some shell, you might get some lovely tiger's eye, you might get some mookite or maybe morganite in there. Very affordable way of getting multiple gemstones, multiple cuts, multiple shapes, multiple sizes. Great way of replenishing your stash, or even starting a stash and starting your jewellery venture, your jewellery hobby. I don't think there's a single jewellery maker in our family who doesn't love our bead scoops. I'll leave those with you, just because obviously the kit sold out pretty much straight away. And we're going to take a wander over to the wonderful Laura so we can show off her pieces of jewellery, which are just amazing. Amazing. Laura, Lots of admiration for this, by the way. All the crew were like, these are incredible. I heard Amelia say it to you, and obviously Kim and I spoke to you this morning. Look at, you've got a GG in full flight there.
Yeah, kind of like galloping.
The movement, that's not easy to do, to create that movement.
No.
I know if I did a horse, it would literally, it would be, is that a horse or is it a sloth?
It did have that phase. It had that moment of this isn't going to work, but it's one of those that actually the more I kept sort of playing about with it, the better it took its shape. Really.
Mine would definitely look like a sloth. It wouldn't look like a horse. So beautiful, even the tail sort of fanning out, and it's. Did you actually refer to maybe pictures or images? Yeah. Great way of actually working out a stencil, I suppose.
Yeah, I just go on websites, search engine, and I typed in for that horse tattoos.
Yeah.
And then that's where I got the main pendants from.
Of course, that makes sense because you'll have an initial outline with a tattoo, won't you?
Yeah.
It's a great idea. Look at this one as well.
And that's what I actually based those two on, because one's plain and one's filled in with gemstone. So that one's filled in, whereas the one next to it is plain. So I quite like that contrast of, because I'm thinking if you go to the races, you're going to go for it, aren't you? It's go full on glam. So there's one I thought, well, you can go full on glam, and there's one I thought, well, you might not. You might want to be a bit more sophisticated.
Do you know what I love? I went to the Cheltenham Cup races back in, gosh, when was it? I can't remember. It was winter, anyway. That's actually when I first thought, you know what, I think I'm pregnant. that was the weekend, so I'll remember it clear as day. Anyway, and we went with a group of friends, so there was all the chaps and the ladies. We got lovely pictures of all the lads together and all the ladies together and everything. You dress up a little bit warmer in the winter, but all the gents, what I love, they all went to town on the tweed, and they looked so handsome all together, really, really handsome, stood together, went to town, because you can at the races, you're exactly right.
Like you say, I mean, we're lucky that we get to do this job where we get to stand with these big hair fascinators and dress up on a Sunday morning. Yeah, absolutely. But you go to the races, you get that chance to really go full on glam, don't you? So that's why I was sort of thinking with that. I was just thinking, let's just do it.
And maybe in like sort of the Cheltenham Cup, which is coming up in, I'm saying Cheltenham Cup, the one at Cheltenham, basically. Is it the Gold Cup? I don't know, which is coming up in March. So yeah, it might be a little bit colder. So maybe you still want to wear that. You probably have to wear a big coat or something like that, and you want a big piece of jewellery to actually be able to, still carry off the look. These would be fantastic. So I love that. You've got gem set one, and then you've got one here, which is just his profile on the outline.
Yeah, and then
and then look at this chappy.
And it's just got one Labradorite on it, and I just thought, I mean, the Labradorite has got amazing shimmer, and you can't really see it against that black, but you had to have that for him. Originally, I just thought, I'm just going to do a head pendant, and it kind of evolved, and I was like, oh, and then again, I looked at
I love that. The simplicity of that pendant where you've just got the head and the tail.
Yeah, and it's kind of meant to represent the whole horse as such.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, you can do that because you're amazing, but if I did that, it's like, where's the rest of the horse, But you can see she is kind of turning herself around, isn't she? Beautiful. Now I'm going to make my way over to you, Laura, because which one are you actually going to be demonstrating for us?
The running one. I'm not sure what I was doing there.
The actual... Oh, no, do it again, do it again.
Because for once, the camera wasn't on me.
Should we the running one?
I don't know why.
Is that what...
Yeah.
You're hot. Fabulous.
It's been a long day already.
No, I liked it. I knew what you meant.
You knew what I meant.
I knew exactly what the galloping horse.
Yeah, the galloping horse.
Absolutely. Okay, lovely.
All right. So as I said, I did go on to just a search engine, and I typed in horse tattoos for the main three pendants, and then I just kind of thought, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. I just typed in horse drawings. Yeah. So I got an idea of the movement of the horses, and again, it's always good if you can take a piece of paper. I forgot my pad today, but if you take a piece of paper and then take a pen and try and, in your mind, if you see the picture, think, oh, how can I translate this into wire? So where would I start? How would I join it as a complete piece? Because ultimately you've got a beginning and an end. How would that affect the design? That horse is quite open. Yeah. So sometimes you can get a swirl in or something like that. With that, it was like, right, I need to connect this so it looks seamless. So again, it's that little bit of planning.
Yeah, the only swirl is literally the horse's eye, isn't it?
Which is an intentional kind of swirl. So yeah, you'll see if you look closely, just along his jaw, which is where the wires lock.
There we go.
That and just around his ear, so you can see it's very subtle. And yeah, the swirl for his eye is where it finishes.
And that locking really actually looks like the horse's jaw as well, doesn't it? Because they've got quite a square jaw, horses, haven't they?
So that's what I was kind of, so, you know, take a pen, take a paper, just work it out in your mind. I mean, you can trace it if you wanted to, but for me, I quite like that element of being able to say, yeah, I actually did hand draw that and I did hand form it.
Yeah.
So we'll take a piece of the point eight.
I saw Claire once actually do the penguins and she traced it around.
Yeah, so you know, there's nothing wrong with tracing it. It's whatever's easier for you. You might find it. I just don't have the facilities to print it off, to be honest with you.
Fair enough.
That's the honest answer.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to take a length of wire, and it's better to kind of overestimate with this. I've probably got about
you wouldn't want to be a leg short with it.
That's the most frustrating. I was lucky I got it all done in one, but it's when you're doing it and you're thinking it needs to give it to me. Yeah, that's a bit heartbreaking when that happens. So, like I said, I've got probably about a metre or so. So again, it's just about planning this really. I'm just going to lean against that to get it out of my way.
Do feel free to ask me to do something if you wish. I am just stood here.
That's fine. Are you happy stood there?
I'm more than happy stood
you
here.
just stand there then, that's fine. It's not a problem. Okay, so I have got pliers, but I can't find the other pair. So if you're lucky enough to have anything like the round nose, the bail making pliers, it just gives a nice kind of curve. Now I've got a larger set which is in my bag somewhere, so I'm just going to go with these. But what I want to do is start off, so where I said that jaw locks, what I'm going to do is that all gets done at the very, very end.
Okay.
So I'm going to just start off by getting that kind of curve shape for the jaw. Okay, and this can all be adjusted as you're going along, so it's just a subtle sort of shape. Okay, and then I'm just going to start to use my pliers, and this is what I was saying to you earlier about having the Zeron pliers, about having other pliers. It's whatever pliers you feel are appropriate for the work you're doing. The Zerons are good for this because they're quite fine, so I can get good
quite
sharp
a lot of precision.
Yeah. Could I just angle him at me so that I
Shall I bring him over?
Yeah, if you could.
No problem. Bear with, just stepping out.
It's because, again, I did this with the reference of having the picture in front of me. So it's one that I do know it.
There you go.
Thank you.
Well, do you want to take it down there?
Yeah, okay. So
Would
we
that
can
be
see
easier?
what we're doing then, can't we? Yeah. So it's one that, obviously, for me, I kept the image up on my screen and I was able to just refer back to it. So what I'm doing now is I'm just doing that jaw. So at the moment, you can see it's quite large. So it's something that you can tweak as you go further down. But just very subtle little bends with this wire is all you kind of need. So you can see that's a very subtle movement, but it just helps give that sort of shape, okay? And again, take your pliers and just sort of start to get that shape and round it off. And with the horse, it's got, again, I don't know if you can see this, but again, it's a very slight little sort of kink in the mouth area. So it's going to look...
Pop that. Hold it up to 2
there you go.
for you to see.
So if you see on its sort of where the mouth is, again, it's a very subtle little bend in the wire just to give that illusion of where its jaw and the teeth would be.
Yeah.
There you go. So,
or the horse bit. Is that what they're called?
Yeah. So it's
where
just... they would bite, yeah. So again, it's just taking your pliers and just gently kicking it out. So it's all very subtle movements that when you're doing them, it barely looks like you're doing anything, but these all have that overall effect on the image. And then again, just forming it around.
So you're very clever. I wouldn't be able to do it like this. I'd probably have to trace an image.
Yeah, and that's absolutely fine. I'm a bit of a sort of let's just see what happens kind of person. So for me, I just basically had a go and it sort of worked. So this was my first go. Was it really? You didn't have loads of attempts? No, this was the... But then I probably couldn't redo it, so I'm going to try and do it again now. See, my horse would probably end up with a gigantic head and then abnormally tiny body or something like that if I didn't trace it. It's something that as you go along you can tweak it and you can play about and get that shape as you go. So, I mean, this is just being done quite quick, but you can start to get that head shape and the slope of the forehead kind of thing. And just sort of run your finger along to get that shape. And if it's, you know, if I think, well, that's looking a little bit large, I can kind of just go in and tweak it. Okay, so I'm not going to go worry too much about it. Are you using, did you say, a variation of pliers, really? For this particular project, I am using my Zerons, just because they're a little bit more finer with their precision. Okay. So I'm able to get in a little bit closer. But it doesn't mean that you have to have the Zerons, you know. These would be fine, but if you did get those bent nose ones, they would be good as well because you could get in nice and close to them. Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking that it might be quite precision. Yeah, definitely. We'll put the bent nose pliers at the bottom of the screen for you as well, so it'd be great for the detail that Laura's doing. And that's what it is. It's all about getting in nice and close. Okay, so I mean, obviously you can take time and really get it right how you want to. These were my in-between ones I was talking about. See, they're a bit... Anyway, so then what you want to do, again, you can use a picture to reference to where the jawline is with regards to where the ear is on the horse, and then just use your pliers and just create that kind of little shape. We just want to give that illusion. So it doesn't matter, excuse me, if it's not perfect.
So what I love about this, I mean, that's why because you're so incredibly talented, is that if you can do a horse, you can do any creature, can't you? You could do. You've done sharks.
Yeah, I've done turtles.
That was. You've done turtles as well. Now, just need to quickly bring you. I held them up earlier. I'm sorry to distract you, by the way. These are off the chart.
I saw them as they were coming over actually, and admired them.
We did launch these, didn't we?
They're beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Look at the quality of these Labradorites. And again, both sides. Look at this. They are unreal. 260 carats. And I'm wondering, because you know, like a cameo? A cameo where you have the gem, the base of the casting of the profile. I'm wondering if you could sort of do a wire shape.
So you could hold that against, so obviously this might be a bit large, but where's the largest one?
I'm wondering if you could actually put your horse
you could.
Profile in front of it.
Yeah, definitely. I know Claire, I know Claire did a couple of cameos the other week actually, where she sort of used the white wire to form the shape of the lady and set it against the cabochon. So yeah, you could do that with that, definitely.
This is amazing. We launched it, Kim and I, and we're probably going to see it for the last time ever today. I mean, look at the full spectrum of colours. From the yellows, the blues, the greens. Kim is actually saying, I'm not happy with myself right now. Because what, we launched it too low? Yeah, probably. Well, fantastic for you, everybody at home, because you're about to get it at the honoured launch price point. Oh my goodness, are you joking? Is that what we launched it at? Oh wait, we launched it at lower than $19.95. Should be $19.95, it shouldn't. It should be double that, really. I'd pay that for one.
Those have hovered in my basket so many times, just I've been waiting for.
Why are you hovering with them?
Because I'm just waiting for payday, basically.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, basically, because I've just been overspending on far too many in the sale and everything. But yeah, they are so stunning.
Corrine, OMG, not missing out on this.
No, don't miss out on them. Like I said, every time I see them, I think, oh, get them now, because I'll miss out.
Every single one has got an amazing amount of labradescence in. 50 are in baskets, 90 in stock. Laura, you know that hovering?
I know. To go back and deal with that, don't I?
Look at the call screens.
It's because I've seen them as well, because I get to see them. It just...
I'd love someone to do kind of like a horse cameo with these. I'd love to see one of those, maybe. I mean, obviously this is going to be bigger. Your pendant's going to be slightly bigger. But I wonder if you could maybe put that. If you positioned it.
Come here. So you could actually mould that around it.
Do you know what I mean?
That would look beautiful. You could just mould it around it anyway, because you could still, because it's got a drill hole, you could still have it.
It makes him come to life.
Yeah. It just adds that depth, doesn't it?
Oh, you're amazing. This Labradorite's amazing. And everybody at home who's dialing through right now, you're amazing. You're about to get a really fantastic strand. Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Down to the last 32. How many have we got in baskets though, Kimbo? 35. And that's obviously not counting everyone that's on the phone lines.
I know. You just need to get them. I need to get them. It's just one of those things where I think I need to get them.
I get it. It's that dilemma, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not everybody's got an endless pot of cash.
Every time I see things like those flowers, and I end up having little binds. Yeah, it's never good. Well, you see, don't you, out there, the boxes that the guest designers have.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Literally, they're taking over the kitchen here in Ivy House. It is. And you get loads.
Oh,
you do get loads.
Family might be watching.
Sold out.
I didn't get that many.
Sorry, I didn't mean to spit on you then.
Right, so basically what I've done is I've just kept working, and again, this is a bit of a larger scale because I can't get in too close on this one. But you can see, so to get the hair, all you're doing is just putting your pliers in and just zigzagging with your pliers to get that movement in the hair.
Yeah.
And then just forming with your finger, creating that arch, and then creating that tail. Again, just use your pliers to create that movement and some kinks in the actual tail. And then you just want to kind of, all you're doing is just mimicking the shape. So obviously I wanted to give the illusion of him having obviously his 4 legs.
Yeah.
So I've kind of made it obvious that, you know, he's got his 2 hoofs there and his 2 hoofs there. And I've used the seed beads to try and highlight, you know what, hoofs. Are you laughing at the way I say it? Hoof.
Is that how you say it? Hoof?
Hoof.
Isn't it hoofs?
Hoofs. His feet.
I prefer hoofs. I prefer that. The hoofs.
I get
like
so
it.
paranoid about saying words on here.
Oh gosh, there's me laughing at you. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. I can't say rondelles now because everyone laughs. Becky takes them.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No, I think it's adorable, your accent. I think you've got an amazing accent. Hoofs. Hoofs. It's like me saying ear. What do you call this?
Year. You call it year, don't you? Or don't you?
This is your year, yeah.
Year.
See, yeah, year.
Year, yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not. I'm in no position to take the mickey. You're just adorable. Do you know what I'm thinking? They look like sort of like the Grand National, don't they?
Yeah,
all
that's
sort of
what I was
racing against one
thinking.
another.
Yeah, that's what in my mind I was thinking. I wanted that motion of the races, really. So again, you would just keep going, and you know, just keep sort of working and making sure that, you know, you can change the head position and make sure you're getting that movement, and also that you're staying in proportion, because what you don't want to do is obviously end up with one part looking a bit out of proportion compared to the other. So you need to keep that as you're going, and then, you know, all you're doing is just mimicking the shape with your pliers, really, and working. Oops, sorry. It's quite, it's right, it's why I like.
Do you want me to move that out the way?
No, it's fine. I'll just move it like this. There you go. So you can see now we're getting to the point we've just gone around here. We've got the back of the legs.
You're on his buttock.
Hind legs.
You're on his rump.
And so you just want to catch that movement. So if you're doing that, so you want it to kick out a little bit like that, and then to come down. And all you're doing is you're just almost like drawing with your pliers, really. And when you come to sort of doing the hoof.
Yes,
the hoof. You're just creating those shapes. And then what I wanted to do, because obviously I wanted to create that.
Your hoof is very accurate, actually, because they do make that shape, don't they?
That
where
kind
they curl round.
They curl, don't they? So
yeah.
I was trying to mimic that shape. And it's just about, when I got to, because I wanted to do a double one, I sort of only went about halfway and then brought the wire back down. And again, if you've got the right tools, you can get a nice tight sort of looping effect. And then you can just pop your pliers and just squeeze it. And that keeps it really quite close together.
I think it's a great way of actually, you know, when you look at the pictures as well, because a horse won't run the same way as a dog will, for example. You know, certain four-legged animals will run like that, won't they? And certain animals will run like that.
I'm just thinking of how Maggie runs. So her whole back legs just go as one, really.
Do they? Yeah. Brutus is a bit like that as well, my puppy. But yeah, some animals run differently to others. A horse does run in unison, doesn't it? Together. So yeah, that's why you've kept them together.
Yeah, that's
like
why I've kept it together. And I mean, obviously, we're just doing this quite quick, but you get that idea. And then when you get to here, so you're just doing all of this, getting those shapes, creating that, and keep working with it so that you know you're worried about ending up with a bit of a slough. It's just working with that shape and getting it right. Now, I won't bother with doing the legs because it's the same thing. But when you get to this section here, basically what I've done is I've brought my wire up. So I've gotten to this point here. My wires come along here, and make sure that jawline is in front of it. And all you're going to do is just create a loop, as little a loop as you can.
Just to hook it round.
Just to hook it around. And again, sort of, I need to see this, sorry.
That's okay, I understand. So Laura's just hooking it round, sort of the jawline of the actual horse.
So that just then creates that lock in there. And then with that excess wire, which I won't need all of this now, again, I thought, well, how can I finish this without having that random wire in place? So that's when I thought, well, it can create a sort of an
eye.
Yeah, it creates a sort of base of the eye, so you can then just put the seed bead in it. So, you know, just a little swirl either with your fingers or with your pliers, just to create that. I mean, to be honest with you, it could almost create like the rain, and then you could have the eye.
That's a good point, actually, or the bit.
Yeah, the bit, or you know, and then you could have the eye sat just in front of it, and then again, exactly the same. Obviously, I'm not doing this properly, so there you go. So then that would be cut there.
The saddle. I mean, you can really go to town and actually put a jockey on there if you wanted. That's kind of why I did
this, because I thought it's missing something and I needed something just to make it a little bit more racing type. Yeah. And so I actually did that last. Right. So with this, I'm just going to then just loop that loop over there. Oops. And that is the actual horse complete. Obviously, this one isn't, it's got no front legs. But you can see how you would lock that in. And then what you would then do is start...
So it's a T-Rex.
It's a T-Rex, isn't it?
This one's a T-Rex.
You can create anything you like. I mean, Alison does amazing 3D characters and sculptures. That for me, I can't... It's very repetitive and it's very much the same, and I can't do that. But I like doing the sort of the flatter version, so you still get that illusion of the animal or the creature, and you know.
Just amazing, Laura. You're really, really talented. And again, even down to, I don't know if you can see this, I'll hold it on the back of my hand again, even down to where you've actually woven the wire in, you've followed the lines of the muscles.
Yeah, so I've tried to just do it in as best a way I can and keep that movement going. What I did do was lightly hammer the frame, only lightly, just to lock it in place, because obviously I'm using a 0.4 wire to weave and I didn't want to pull the wire out of shape. The last thing you want to do is do all of this work, get a really perfect frame,
and then
distort it when you're weaving it.
Absolutely.
But that's just taking your 0.4 and your gunmetal, and just, it is woven in sections, so if you've got your hand there, so what I would have done was woven this you can see basically the direction. So this was one section, then this was another section, and then this, and then this. And then I just took my 0.25 in the silver and sewed in all of the gaps with the seed beads.
Oh really? You can't even see that?
Yeah, and it's all just been woven in, but to me it added that definition as to what was the hoofs and what was the sort of the nose and the tail, and the hair as well has also been sort of stitched in
with the little tiny seed beads.
Yeah.
Just amazing, Laura, as always. Absolutely incredible. Love it. You're so very, very, very clever. I didn't mean to make you paranoid about
Sorry,
hoofs.
don't worry.
About
I added to my list of words to be aware of speaking.
I've got lots of those as well. Now, don't you think the Labradorite is working with this gunmetal grey, this new wire that we've just launched? Sold out, by the way, all but gone, but just because it has got that real darkness behind it, that gunmetal works great for gents jewellery, but also a real modern contemporary colour. And if you, funny enough, sort of, Tom was, obviously, I've got an engagement ring. He was like, I haven't got an engagement ring. I said, well, do you want one? I'll buy you an engagement ring. And he was, I think he's favouring the sort of titanium colours and things like that. So I'd imagine he'd be absolutely loving that new coloured wire. And I know that Tom loves Labradorite as well. It's a very exciting, unique, it's an intriguing gemstone. How many times have we heard the gents amongst us sort of saying, yeah, Labradorite's my favourite gemstone?
Yeah.
It does tend to be. But ladies as well, I'm not singling out. It is a beautifully intriguing, I always call it the Heathcliff of gems. It is. I think it's quite intriguing, quite dark, but also there's a romance to it as well.
It's magic, isn't there?
Yeah, it is magic. These are faceted wheels, so they have got little angles all the way around, which really play with the labradescence. Don't see this shape very often. They're 3x2 to 5x4 millimetres and 75 carats in total. So an ever so slight graduation. But again, going back to the Eslon that we had earlier on, they'd look amazing with that too.
They would. I mean, because they're not faceted, or they are faceted, but see, they didn't look majorly faceted.
No, they look like plain wheels, don't they? But they have actually got kind of angles all the way around.
But I think that's nice for an appeal for the sort of men's jewellery, because of the fact that they're not like this, which I love this, but sometimes men can find that a little bit like, oh, it sparkles.
A bit too feminine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas that, to me, is like you say, perfect masculine gemstone.
Yeah.
But you could macrame with your gunmetal. So
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
could do something macrame, like the wire macrame that Mark
Around
does,
it.
and use that colour with that, and then you would get that more masculine.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that idea. And like I said, the unique cuts are great. You can incorporate it into this kit as well. It was going to look amazing with the kit, with the agates, the plain rounds, and the large, the larger Labradorite strands that you've got as well. You could actually probably use the graduation, maybe if you wanted to infill the legs or the body of your horse, or whatever creature you're making. It doesn't have to be a horse. It's obviously the races day here at Jewellery Maker. So that's what we're kind of inclined to think. Already lots of you getting involved. Wow, apparently we should be $7.95. It's a long strand. It's 30 centimetres. 30 centimetres, and it's absolutely jam-packed. There's no spaces even in between or knots in between. Lowest price point coming your way, not $7.95, $4.95.
Wow, that's it. I mean, if you think adding just that strand to this kit, that's less than 25, well, just under 25 pounds. But I mean, you could make chain out of it. Imagine if you had some in the tail of the pendant here, to just fill some of these features in here with it, you know. It's going to, because you've got that graduation, and they're not too deep either.
Yeah, just put a couple along,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, this side, yeah, is that what you're referring to? Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's not even £25.
No.
If you were to get this and the kit. Mind you, the kit's sold out, sorry. But yeah, I'd be adding it to my order as well. I think it works amazingly with the gunmetal grey.
Yeah, it really does. And like you say, to me that is a very unisex. It's not necessarily that feminine as in like in this version where this is really sparkly and you're like, oh, it sparkles. With that, you could get away with that more masculine design.
And also you'll probably find that, especially if you are wire making your creatures and your animals and things like that, certain cuts will work in the right place, won't they? For example, you've chosen to use, and it works amazing, the little tiny 2mm rounds for the tails and the hoofs, the mouth and the mane. But you could use these, maybe one of these could be the hoof. Look, you've got me going now.
The what? You're paranoid now every time you say that.
One of these could be the hoof. Loads of you getting involved. Well done, well done, well done to every single one of you on those phone lines. Sorry. Our Amelia's running round, bless her. Running round, bless her. We've got time to squeeze in one more opportunity. One more.
Wow.
Again, will go beautifully with the titanium colour, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've got that colour in the other type of chain, but I want it in that colour as well. I just love that antique bronzy colour.
I tell you what, it's one of those scenarios, one of those shows where you've wanted an awful lot, my darling, but you're here, aren't you?
Yeah, but the problem is when I'm at home, I end up buying it all as well. So
well,
that's why
is that a problem?
No.
No. You need it.
I don't buy that much, obviously.
Yeah. You need it. These beautiful Rolo chains, often referred to as a belcher as well. They're perfect. They're circles, basic. They're perfect circular links. Referred to a belcher or a Rolo chain. Depends which, pretty much where you actually source it from or what jewellery establishment it is. You have got 10 metres of your antique copper brass Rolo chain here, which is a 3mm chain, substantial. It is really, really, really substantial. And to buy it on these spools like this is obviously very, very, very affordable. Great for your anklets, your bracelets, your necklaces, your body chains.
Yeah, sort of your hand to wrist chains, your sort of foot to ankle, and all of this kind of, you know, where we're doing all these layers of chain. And if you have got it in the other, I don't know, styles of chain, you can then create that multi-layered style as well.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
$14.95. Wow. For 10 metres of chain. 10 metres in total. And it's a lovely antique colour as well, isn't it? Again, goes with the kit perfectly.
It's good. It's one of those colours that, for me, it's that lovely in-between when you've got your antique bronze and you've got your copper. But also, I like to mix my copper and antique bronze colour-wise. And your bare copper will often oxidise and change its tone to that deeper, darker colour, in which case, if you've got the colour copper chain, it can be too bright against the bare copper
Yeah.
pieces, whereas that will tone in with
Tone it down somewhat. And again, I like the fact that you sort of mix them up together, because I'm thinking it would look lovely with the rose, it would look nice with this titanium colour, it would look lovely with the silver, any which, either or, really. And it is also the most affordable way of actually buying our chain, like so. If you work it out, that's only £1.50 for a metre length.
Yeah.
I mean, before Jewellery Maker days, if you were to buy a length of chain for 1 metre, it would certainly cost more than that, wouldn't it?
Oh gosh, definitely. But even if you were to go into a shop, you know, and buy meters of chain, you're still looking at a fair price for a decent, and that's a substantial chain as well.
Oh, really substantial. It's got that durability. So if you like to make those really big, heavy wirework pieces, or those statement pieces, like we're talking about sort of big statement horse pendants right now, if you wanted to really exaggerate that size, then you'll need a substantial chain to support the weight, if you like, of the wire and also of the genuine gemstones. So this has got that durability. Again, check out as soon as you possibly can. Do stay on those phone lines, folks. 10 metres of your antique copper wire. Now, we've got so much to bring, and it's still not done. We're still not done. We've got Aquamarine, Morganite, brand new strands, and also a brand new strand of Ametrine. I think the days are numbered where we'll be launching new strands of this. Listen, I'll be back after this break.
Jewellery Maker have a special offer running on our workshops. If you book yourself on 4 workshops, you'll receive £50 off. We have a variety of courses to choose from beginner to advanced, covering a wide selection of mediums. This is a limited offer until the end of February, so book your places now to avoid disappointment. The Jewellery Maker Wall of Fame is where you get to showcase your skills as a jewellery designer. Each week, one lucky entrant will win £100 credited to their account, and the runner-up receives £50. If you want to enter your design, just send a photo to studio@jewellerymaker.com, or you can post your photos to Jewellery Maker, Ivy House, Henley Road, Outhill, Studley, B807DU. Get making and good luck. Owning a strand of genuine gemstones is always exciting, but being able to use it in your handcrafted jewellery, then passing it on to its new owner with proof of its authenticity is even more incredible. Why not add one of our printed authenticity cards to your order and share that same feeling with your customers? You can also access online authenticity certificates for items you have previously ordered by looking at your order history on your account details. The certificate gives you valuable information about your purchase and is your guarantee of quality and peace of mind from Jewellery Maker. Chrome diopside, which as the name suggests, gets its vivid green colours from chromium. It's not a particularly well-known gemstone. Diopside, or sometimes known as Russian diopside, was first discovered in the early 1800s and derives its name from the Greek words dis and ops, meaning two-faced, in reference to the two ways of orientating the gem before cutting. Diopside is unusual in that it has perfect cleavage in two directions. To see more of this incredible gemstone, stay tuned to us. Did you know when you book on a Jewellery Maker workshop, you are given exclusive access to our Jewellery Maker shop? You can browse through special items and offers, be privy to selected discounts and deals that you can't get at any other time. Shop whilst you learn and grab yourself some amazing offers. For more information on workshops and available dates, contact our call centre. Get creative with Mark Smith with his Craft Fair DVD. Mark guides you through 6 sections of fascinating techniques that sell the best on his very own successful craft fairs. He concludes this DVD by sharing his own tips and hints that make his own stalls very popular. To get your hands on a copy of this fantastic DVD, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655. Get creative with Jewellery Maker.
Oh, the challenges of pregnancy. I think that was quite discreet. I think that went a little bit unnoticed. Anyway. This hour is going to be quite fast-paced. I've got lots to bring you and also lots of new launches, some of which are quite limited in stock. As soon as you see something you love, be on those phone lines. That's the best way that I can guarantee you success. Well, I can't guarantee you success, obviously, but the best way of standing a chance. I'm bringing you 2 very high-end, different strands of beryl, including your aquamarine and also including your morganite, and there are less than 50 of both of them. And yet they are at astonishingly affordable price tags. Now, beryl is a gemstone family, probably one of the most infamous because there are such big gemstones within that family, like emerald, obviously, like aquamarine, like your morganite, like your heliodor, like your goshenite, etc. But it's a gemstone which loves to have internal clarity and a way of sparkling, even when it is actually sort of has characteristics. I don't like to say the word included because sometimes people think of it as a negative, but characteristics, even then those kind of glimmer and shimmer and play with the light. Now I'm starting with, oh my goodness. Kimber, what's this going to? I'm actually going to hide some of it. Bear with me. If I said to you this strand, this, was available to you right now, you'd be excited, wouldn't you? But wait, look at the colour, look at the consistency of colour and look at the wonderful clarity. That's everything that an aquamarine aspires to be. Depth of colour, we're not necessarily talking about saturation, we're actually talking about tone. There are 3 individual specifics, if you like, that aquamarine, and it's different to most coloured gemstones. So there's saturation, tone and hue. That's what we refer to with coloured gemstones. Saturation is ordinarily the most relevant, as in how prominent that colour is. Tone actually refers to the lightness and darkness of the gemstone. You want it to have a certain darkness. In this case, not dark as in black, but you want the level of blue to be relevant enough and obvious enough, not so light that it almost becomes colourless. Does that make sense? But for this length here, that's what you would expect a gems of distinction strand of this, which I would certainly expect it to be gems of distinction, the quality of these aquamarine. That's what we'd expect to purchase on an ordinary day here at Jewellery Maker, and we would, without shadow of a doubt, be bringing you an amazing deal if it were this length. But wait, you're not just getting this length. Look at how long this strand of aquamarine is and look at how consistent those colours are. Okay, I hope you're on those phone lines, even if you haven't pressed your option 1 as of yet. Because March's birthstone, next month, which we're a couple of days away from. For all of you March babies out there, you're privileged and blessed to have one of the most elegant of gems. 38 centimetres of absolutely dazzling diaphanity and clarity with
just breathtaking sky blues. We need to bring that price tag in because already we have got lots of collectors showing interest for one of the longest strands of quality aquamarine that I've ever seen here at Jewellery Maker. I mean, you could quite literally, I'm literally putting the two ends together. Look, and it's a 360-degree neckline piece as it is. Imagine this, wearing this to the races. Imagine wearing this to a wedding, or imagine wearing this on a regular, everyday occasion. How many people in the world could you tell me own 110 carats? And I'm not necessarily talking about our Jewellery Maker family, because I know that you've got incredible gemstone stashes. That's why you shop with us here at Jewellery Maker. For those of you that know of a March baby, it's a gemstone which really is close to my heart. It was my sister's birthstone, so it's always got that real association, I suppose, and it's always regarded very beautifully to me because I think about her and her personality, and it is a beautifully stunning gemstone also. $49.95 only. We had only 30 of these, so very, very high end. Please don't leave them in the baskets. What would go amazing with aquamarine? And again, I've got lots to bring you in this hour, so I'm going to move quite quickly. Just because I move on doesn't mean you've not been successful. Another member of the beryl family? Absolutely. It's the pastels. It's the pretty, dainty colours that you get within beryl, or most of them are beryl, I should say. It's that bouquet, that spring-like bouquet that you can sort of envisage. That's what beryl is famed for. One of the newest of gemstones, actually, discovered in the early 1900s, is your Morganite. Morganite, again, it gets its colour from the presence of different chemicals that are present in Aquamarine's case, it is iron. In Morganite's case, it's the manganese. Yeah, you've got lovely tassels. The perfect Morganite tassel, actually. And you really want a pink stroke peachy hue. The more prominent that colour is, the more valuable the Morganite is. Now, we've got less than 50 of these available, 44 to be exact. I recently, a couple of months ago, actually had my Morganite, look at this, look, had my Morganite ring, solitaire, actually revalued, because I bought one many years ago, well, I say many years ago, it was about 5 years ago, and I bought it actually from Steve Bennett direct when he was actually presenting on air one day, and I've had it valued, and then I've had it revalued. Because of the massive price increase of Morganite, yes, 500% price increase of Morganite, I thought, right, well, I need to maybe readdress this, and I did it. And I understand you do actually have to pay for valuations and appraisals, but let's just say that my ring was, well, over double what it was initially valued at. Over double what it was initially valued at, and very, very, very considered. It certainly wouldn't be a price that I'd be able to invest in. This is the biggest Morganite that I've ever actually seen here on Jewellery Maker. I think that's bigger than 11 by 7 millimeters, don't you? With the clarity, look at that gorgeous clarity. That's the perfect Morganite colour.
I've never seen a strand like that before, actually, of pure Morganite. I love Morganite. There's something really appealing about it.
Alluring, I always say.
Yes, that sounds much better.
No, do you know no, it doesn't. But you know, we think about yellow as a very happy and cheerful colour. I was actually doing as you go, when you go away, you buy some perfume, don't you? Or sometimes you do anyway. And one of my favourite perfumes is that Chanel. I do love Chanel, and they've got a perfume called Allure. It's been around for years and years and years. And I always think, I always call it Morganite alluring. What colour's the packaging? It's like a Morganite colour. It makes sense, doesn't it? It's a very, very alluring gemstone. I've never seen sizes like this. Are you ready? Wow, wow, wow. I'd pay it for the one stone. What you're about to see on your screen, $39.95 for the one individual gemstone in the centre there. I'd be more than comfortable investing £40 for. We've only 44 of these available, though. I only wish I had a higher quantity. Yeah. I was actually informed the other day, and I don't know if this has changed, but our buying team did stockpile, and this is when we were part of TGGC, we actually stockpiled some Zambezia Morganite, Madagascar rather Morganite as well.
And we hadn't actually bought any since for 4 years. It was a 4-year period, and the reason for that is because Steve actually envisaged a dramatic price increase. It happened, 500% price increase. I don't know if that's changed, as in sort of whether they've now started rebuying it again. And the reason why they stopped buying it is because they are such an influential force on the actual price increase or not, as the case might be. So if they literally put the anchors on and say, you know what, we won't buy it. We've got a good stockpile. It's going to keep us going for a length of time. Maybe that's why we're able to honour this kind of a deal for you until it kind of calms down in terms of the price point and it's not quite 3 figures, 4 figures, and then some. Rosie, Northumberland, hello to you. Vanya, Diane, Gloria, Pippa, Fiona, Brenda, Madeleine, well done to you. I need to move on in the essence of time. Do stay where you are on those phone lines. And again, lots of you choosing to multi-buy. It is a beautifully alluring gemstone.
It
Beautifully.
Yeah.
Well done, well done, well done, well done. Moving on to you are kidding me. Those of you that got hold of that Ethiopian opal strand, well done. Those of you that are looking to make purchases, not just because they're great for your jewellery making, but I'm not allowed to say that I would. They are a sensible purchase, shall we say. And you're driven not just on beauty, but also on rarity. And you're driven by, okay, well, I want to get it now because I might not necessarily have the huge price points that they're increasing to in the foreseeable future. This is one of those gemstones. Ametrine is from one mine, one location in the world, in the Bolivia mine, and it is one of the smallest mines. If you picture Tanzanite, foot of Mount Kilimanjaro, one of the most dramatic and beautiful sceneries, but yet it's got multiple mines. There's 4 at present. Some are more abundant than others, granted, but there are 4 at present: A block, B block, C block and D block. Ametrine supplies the entire world with this gemstone, or rather the Bolivia mine, the Anahi mine, supplies the whole world with ametrine from just one tiny, tiny, tiny mine. I can't emphasize how small it is. It kind of looks like, if those of you that have seen the film Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, it kind of looks like one of the Hobbit's dwellings, you know, the kind of the little front entrance, basically, the little hole in the ground. That's what it actually looks like. So when you take that into consideration, that the entire gemstone world gets it from that one location, you understand why it's so sought after. This is totally and utterly natural. And it's a bi-colour gemstone, which is a fusion of amethyst and citrine. The more valuable is obviously the carat weight, is the clarity, is the intensity of colour, which is probably the most important thing, and the cut. There are 2 different types of ametrine, in the sense you can have a sunburst or a split. What was more preferable was the split, where you actually can see that perfect line, where you can see amethyst, citrine. Now, either or, it's personal choice. So if you like that dispersion, the colours sort of randomly dispersed around the gemstones, then sunburst is for you. If you like order, if you like it to be, wow, look at that bi-colour gemstone where it's literally one colour then the other, then a split is for you. This is a split strand. And it's going, should I say it, Kim? Oh my goodness, just be on those phone lines. There's 113 of these available and they will sell out. Look at the split, look at the split. Can you see that perfect split? Citrine, hang on, which one am I looking at here? Here you go, citrine, and then your amethyst. Here, citrine, and then your amethyst. Here, you've got your amethyst and then your citrine, and that's across the entirety of the strand as well. Real intensity of colours. Tons of these in baskets within instants. My God, can they see the price, Kim, on the web? Okay, you can see a price on the web, but it's not even stopping there. If you're with me on the web, you can see a price, but it's not even stopping there. Telephone bidders, it's going under £20, and I don't just mean by a few pennies. It's going considerably under £20. We had 113 of these available. A natural gemstone, which I absolutely recommend, and it's only my personal humble opinion that you should get this sooner rather than later, unless you've got very deep pockets. I haven't. I'm not too proud to admit that. I haven't. I want to get it at the most affordable price tag, because we believe, and of course it is, it's a vision. We can't say for certain it's going to come true. We believe that this gemstone is destined for dizzier heights than tanzanite. Isn't that staggering? Because this is a natural bi-colour gemstone, which is one locational but also one mine, and you wouldn't get 140 carats of tanzanite at £14.95. You simply wouldn't. Not of this level and grade. Look how many of you on the web have made your confirmations. Telephone bidders, please do stay where you are. Mary, you've just got yours. Diana, you've just got yours. Jeffrey, Denise, Susan, Hampshire, well done. Susan, Maureen, Stacey, Beverly, Elizabeth, Olwyn, hello to you. Catherine and Kathy and Rosie in Derbyshire, hello to you. Angela and Eastport, Talbot, I physically can't keep up with the names, folks. But there's over, what, 40 in baskets, Kimbo? 60 now, Kim's saying to me, and look at the quantity, and there's still telephone bidders there. It's on a first come first served basis. When you talk about ametrine, as a member of the quartz family is the rarest. It is the rarest of the quartz family, and it's a bi-colour gemstone, so you want to have that really obvious, oh look, there's some amethyst there and there's citrine, or like I said, sporadically dotted around the gemstone. My personal preference, my ametrine jewellery, is all that 50-50 split, just because I like to see the definition. And the bolder, the more intense those colours are, the more valuable they are. We had 113 straight down to 51 opportunities, and I don't think, is that accurate? Okay, Kim's saying, oh, there's less than that, I can't physically keep up. Again, Laura, are we surprised by the phone lines and the web?
Not surprised at all. I mean, just for that cut of gemstone of that size, that's an amazing price. But to have that split and to have that two-tone and that's so apparent, you can't go wrong, can you?
You really can't. Please don't look at the quantity on the screen. That's actually, we're beyond that. We've got a much lower stock than that now. We're going to have to move on in actual fact, so we'll leave it down to you. First come, first serve. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Moving on to... Stick with the high-end gemstones, shall we? 88 of these. Oh, 69 of these, I beg your pardon. Stick with your high-end gemstones. And shall we stick with... Oh, an affordable price tag for those really high-end... Well, as you can see, 3 of the big 5, totally and utterly natural. Do you know what I adore about this strand? Is that you have got that combination of your cashmeres, your cashmere blues to your salon blues. Do you see that? That kind of graduation of colour. That appeals to me, because I'm not saying they are from those locations, but you have got those colours which are synonymous to those locations. Similarly with your actual emerald as well, you can go from, okay, these are more your Colombian emerald greens, and then we go down into your Zambian emerald with the darker colour. With the rubies, again, you can talk about this one at the very end being maybe your Burmese pigeon blood red ruby, which is arguably the most recognised, and then you've even got your Thai ruby reds within there as well, right the way to your Madagascan. Now, I'm not saying that they are from this location, but it gives you a full sort of spectrum and example of what this gemstone can, or these gemstones I should say rather, can actually occur in. This is coming your way at probably one of the most affordable prices for ruby, emerald and sapphire, for a 16 centimetre strand of individual rondelles. We were talking about channel setting, we were talking about just taking 3 or 4 of each of those colours, maybe, I don't know, maybe 2 of the blue, maybe 2 of the ruby and 2 of the emerald, and just simply commissioning a piece like that. Kim, who's a jewellery maker, what was that, Kim? You've made a bracelet, colour graduated like this, but you've put silver spacer beads in between, and you get tons of compliments. Oh, that doesn't surprise me. So literally left as it is, but with the spacer beads in between.
Yeah, I bet you do. You can look at some of the biggest establishments around the world, big jewellery establishments. That trio, ruby, emerald and sapphire, that combination of gemstones, it tends to be a very exclusive collection that they do. I know certainly TGGC, the Genuine Gemstone Company, Gemporia, they do their own collection of sort of ruby, emerald and sapphires. One of my favourite collections that they actually did. Because it is, we all know and recognise that those three gemstones are what they are, really. It doesn't have, you don't have to be a gem expert for that. Again, I could name numerous different establishments. If you've walked around Bond Street or Hatton Garden here in the UK, or if you're over in the USA, if you've been along Rodeo Drive or Fifth Avenue, if you shop down in Saint-Tropez or maybe Milan in Italy, you'll see high-end exclusive collections like this, which have got ruby, emerald and sapphire. And of course, they tend to come along with a hefty price tag, if they're even advertised. We have to bring that price tag in for you because already loads of you choosing to multi-buy. £12.95. Were you expecting this to be, what, £30? I was. Laura, you look disgusted.
No, I just think that that's an amazing price, isn't it, for that selection of gemstones? You know, you can make amazing...
What were you expecting this to be?
Probably around about the £39-ish.
Yeah.
It normally is for that kind of...
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
For natural ruby, emerald and sapphire. We know that doesn't happen every single day. £12.95. They're not chips and nuggets.
No, and I would make little simple rings with those, and you've already got them colour graded for you. So you can just, you know, you can go directly to your ruby or your emerald, and you could just make a little splash ring and have it just going across, a little tiny bit of sterling silver wire.
Which ones are you drawn to? Because I keep zoning in on those kind of cashmere salon blues right there, those three.
Those three, you see?
I'm really drawn to those.
I'm just seeing them. Ooh. Yeah, they are nice.
Because they're so consistent in colour.
Again, you could do a trilogy ring with those.
Yeah. One of the most romantic of rings is a
Yeah.
trilogy ring. For those of you that haven't heard it before, it said a trilogy ring is said to symbolise I love you more today than I did yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow.
Aww.
Oh. Isn't that cute? Isn't that adorable? And that's been around for many, many years. Yeah, and how many trilogy rings can you get out of this? And it's just £12.95. Kerry, Gloria, Vanya, Virginia, hello to you, Parveen, hello to you, Hampshire, Olive, hello to you, West Midlands, Diane, buying 4, Rita, buying 2, hello to you, Elspeth in Dorset, Jean, you've got yours. Lots of you choosing to multi-buy, and I do not blame you. Usually a strand of this, of sapphire, ruby and emerald will be sort of around your £30 mark, and that's an amazing saving, but £12.95 is absolutely astonishing. Well done. I've got an amazing strand of pearls coming up next. You know what, Kim, you know when you said that to me, Kim's just said, Elle, an amazing strand of pearls coming. I know which ones you mean. You don't have to tell me the location. Oh my goodness, I need these. Oh, they're such a lovely shape. They're almost buttons. They're only 28. Oh man. Oh man. That's not enough. It doesn't matter. I've got loads of pearls at home, loads of strands of pearls at home. I still can't stop buying it. I still can't. Just look how, but these are some of the biggest. 10 by 9 millimeters. So a button, they're round, but just been a little bit squashed in the centre, shall we say. They haven't been, that's how they formed in the mollusk, obviously, but that's the best way I can describe the shape. They're so beautiful, aren't they? These are some of the biggest that I've seen.
I think though, if you've got a favourite gemstone or a gemstone that draws you to it, you will just keep, it doesn't matter how much you've got at home.
You keep buying it,
You will keep buying it because, you know, there's just something about that gemstone that for you, and for me it's lemon quartz. I'm the biggest sucker when it comes to lemon quartz. I would just buy it and buy it and buy it.
And that's me with pearls. Yeah. I just keep buying pearls. I've got pearls that I've not done anything with as of yet, but I just can't stop buying it. When they're like this, I just think, what? It's just... Oh, we're going so low. 28. You watch how quickly 10... What? Sorry, that's really... That's a really bad habit, Jewellery Makers, that I keep doing. I keep saying what to Kim when she tells me the price. £9.95. That's absurd. absolutely absurd for a double figure measurement of your cultured pearls. Why am I talking about measurements rather than carat weight? It's an organic gemstone. For those of you that don't know, those of you new to Jewellery Maker, it's an organic gemstone, meaning it's formed from a living organism. As we know, pearls form within a mollusk in the sea. These are actually cultivated. That's usual. Exceedingly rare to find a naturally found a pearl. It would probably be millions if you did. A cultured pearl basically is formed in the same way, but it's farmed basically. Look how quickly they go. I'm actually you know, you were saying you wanted to do some shopping today. Me too. Can I keep that opal and this one here really close to me? I know the others are sold out. These are sold out, aren't they? Abalone. Wow. We haven't seen abalone in months.
For a while.
Well, I haven't. We've only got 28 of these. Oh, these little hearts as well.
Oh, they're cute.
These are cute.
I like them. Again, they're really good if you do want to go down that, for me, you know, the whole shark, seahorse, sea theme.
What was the name of your shark?
Bruce.
Bruce. Fish are friends, not food.
I love Bruce.
I love Nemo.
I had a freak out because Kayla lost Bruce. She went into my studio and helped herself to Bruce and took him around Nanny's.
To be fair, I can understand Kayla doing that.
Got it
I
back.
can. You did get it back.
I got it back.
Get him back, sorry.
Got him back.
Yeah, because they've got that lovely mermaid S-tone. These are, of course, genuine gemstones, and they are a gemstone of the sea. Abalone is a type of shell. Our abalone here at Jewellery Maker is double-sided, so meaning you not just get abalone on the one side of the gemstone. These are lovely shaped hearts. You're getting them on both as well. So you can actually choose your preference, or if you want to wear them as earrings, you're going to see that constant, continuous chromatic shiftment of colour. If you've heard of chromatic shift, you've heard me say that previously. I often use it, in fact, we do in the trade, to refer to that term when it comes to Amelite. Again, it's an organic gemstone like your abalone, and it's talking about the movement, the migration of colour around the gemstone, and you get this, well, with high quality like this strand, you'll have that same migration. They're each 16 millimetres, double-sided, and the only opportunity I've brought you abalone, I believe, of this year, actually, if my memory serves me correctly. Pretty much every colour of the spectrum will be found in this gorgeous gemstone, or I should say again, in this strand you will do. Should be. Wow, okay, let's go straight down to it actually. Have you seen how many people are on the web? Half the stock gone like that. It's because it always sells out. It's one of your most popular gemstone. Talking about date at the races, imagine these up on stalks, if you like.
Stalks. Sprigs. I don't think that sounds better, does it?
Sprigs. This is what we're trying to get at. Like a spray.
Jinx.
Like a spray. Yeah, you could create like an oceanic style fascinator hat.
Yeah, you could create, it would create that lovely movement. You could use your thicker gauges of wire and just have it so that, you know, it does catch that light and that movement, and have it in going different directions to have, you know, that dimension as well.
Yeah, I'd love that.
It would look beautiful.
And maybe with your amazing new wire that you've just got in the last tool, you could make a mermaid and have her sat somewhere.
I was thinking of the shape of the heart would be beautiful for a tail. So you could mimic
the end of the tail.
Yeah, and then you could just kind of create it.
You're so clever. See, I'd never think of that.
I haven't made it yet, though. I've just said it.
You need to. You need to do that. Well done. Stay where you are on those phone lines. Congratulations to each and every single one of you. Sticking with the hearts. Ooh. Sticking with your abalone. These look amazing with your abalone. Abalone, abalone, how do you say it?
I say abalone, because it's got an E on the end. It makes me want to say abalone.
Fair enough. Huff, hoof.
Huff, hoof, yeah. Tomato, tomato.
Tomato, tomato. Ear or year. Doesn't matter really, does it?
Bath or bath.
Bath or bath. Absolutely. No, don't you think these would look amazing with those abalones that you've just seen? Because you've got that fusion of colour. Wow. Again, the perfect size to be sort of elevated in tiaras and head twists, or just one on a pair of shepherd hook earrings would just look amazing. You've got electric blues. You've got the rainbow hearts here and the silvers. In total, you're getting 4 strands, so 2 of the rainbow, 1 of the silver and 1 of the electric blue. But look how they tend to merge.
And what's beautiful about them is that because obviously they're flat in their profile, so you know, they lend themselves to a lot more designs because they're going to sit flatter. You know, you could point them to point and have bows, or you could just create different shapes, different textures with them.
Yeah.
I think they're really, really cute. I love them.
I do as well. Absolutely adorable. And again, all different ages, really. I think they're so appropriate. So great for your stash. One of your most popular shapes is actually a heart cut. So wear your heart on your sleeve, Kimbo is saying to me. Hematite quartet. Yeah, love it. Should be £25 and 80 pence for forged strands. 360 strands as well, which go a long way. Different sizes, I should mention, because you've got some which are 6, some which are 8, some which are 7mm. Let's bring that bundle price point for you. Time is a racing this morning. Wow, $14.95 for 4 strands of genuine gemstones. The 6mm of the rainbow, you've got 6mm in the rainbow coloured, and you've also got 8mm in the rainbow coloured. The silver are 7mm and the blue are 8mm. So different shapes and sizes. So slightly, these are a little bit more delicate, as you can see, the 6mm here. And then these ones just here, again, and the blue next to them are the 8mm. They're so lovely, aren't they?
The smaller ones, those little, the smallest smaller ones, are really lovely. About 3 of them in a ring.
Yeah,
you get that kind of cascaded movement.
Again, so romantic.
Yes.
Think about your Mother's Day as well. Great to create sort of a little love heart in there. Because of course we all love our mums.
You could make matching jewellery, so you might think, well, you know, I might make the colourful ones might be more for, I might make them for Kayla, and then I would make for myself like the blue ones or the silver ones. So again, you coordinate, don't you? And I think that means something to both the mother and the child, that you've got that
connection
and that thought.
It's like a friendship bracelet, isn't it? Yeah. It's not just amongst your friends. You can. I regard my mum as one of my best friends. Amazing. Well done. Stay where you are on those phone lines. Moving on to all of these. Now, who's getting into the fascinator making with the lovely Linda? I love hats, as you might have guessed, and I'd love to be able to make them because they are an investment.
Yeah, they are actually.
Really expensive, aren't they? I mean, admittedly, it's an investment that you do tend to keep. I've had this hat for 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know, if I could learn that skill of making them myself and be able to make my own per outfit, it's going to save me a lot of money, because a wedding or a day at the races can be quite a costly affair, can't it?
Yeah. It's quite it's an initial outlay, isn't it? And also you're then a bit limited to that same outfit or that same
because you don't want to go and splash out again on another hat because you've got a couple of hats, or you might have loads of hats, I don't know, but I do exactly the same. I think, well, really, you know, I don't get much wear out of this or the other or other hats that I actually have. So really, I'll try and get multiple use out of it. But if you can make them yourself at relatively no cost, then obviously that's a win-win scenario. These are perfect for sort of your fascinators and your hat making, well, your general craft and jewellery making, actually. This is a big bundle of your Zari braided thread, so you can see it's more of a circular tube. Massive saving coming your way. There's 30 metres on each of these. They're 2mm thick in total. You've got the emerald greens, you've got that lovely, that's actually 2 different colours of blue. In fact, I'm going to put them together. That's more like a mystic fusion, sort of like a, I guess like a Paraiba colour. It's more of a mermaidy, greenish blue. Then you've got your brown, your gold, your silver. Then you've got that apatite. Can you see the difference there now? And also that lovely emerald green. So 2, 4, 6, 8 individual spools should be £25 and 60 pence. Interior design, for your fashion, for your tassels, for your hat making, £9.95 for meters. Let me just see, how many meters is that total? Oh, there we go, 240. It's on your graphics, which is going to keep you in a lot of Zari thread. That's working out at 6 pence per meter. So just a little bit of edging maybe around the actual fascinator itself.
I'm just thinking of, like, for me, because I'm not that brilliant with like macrame and cording, I think that would add that element of take it up a level with my pendant. So I like to make my focal pendant. So I would actually use a couple of layers of those and have a nice focal pendant on it.
Yeah.
And it's going to look professional still, isn't it? Because
Really
it's
does.
going to look like you've done that.
I agree, and you know, I'm also a bit of a cheat when you're amazing at wire wrapping, but I use your Zari thread to just go around a cabochon, or around gemstone with some really strong glue.
It's a different dimension, isn't it? Like soutache, if you want to soutache with that. And I would describe that greeny one at the beginning, like you said, is mysticky.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my maid of honour. She wore, basically, it was a teal colour, but it was like a taffeta.
Yeah.
So it shimmered all the different
I
colours.
know.
So
It does have that sort of taffeta look about it, I agree. Again, great for those if you know anyone that's having a wedding, then these will be amazing for favours and decorating the tables, even.
Yeah.
I saw a fantastic idea, and duly stolen, by the way, for our wedding day. My friend who's got a hair salon, she went along to do a bride's hair and obviously the entourage, and actually went to the wedding too. And they'd hung from a chandelier, which was obviously in the hotel, they'd hung the table plan. So I thought, what a great idea. They actually had some I don't know if they are real synthetics, real gemstones or synthetic gemstones rather, but they had thread like this and then a couple of pearls, and then the table plans. All different levels. I thought, what a great idea.
Yeah.
It's just something really quirky. And it would look beautiful if it was suspended from these.
Yeah, and like you say, wedding favours and things like that, because again, the colourway for my wedding is in that bundle.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Most people like your golds and your silvers and your bronzes. I think you're going to use it for so much, not just your jewellery making as well. Great bundle. Well done. Stay where you are on those phone lines. Oops. Moving on to 4 in. Who's got aspiring jewellery makers in their circle of friends and family? I straight away looked at Laura because I'm thinking Kayla would love these.
Oh yeah, definitely. But then Jackson would as well. Jackson struggles a bit. He wants to get involved.
Oh, that's so cute.
He gets involved for about 5 minutes and then wanders off to watch telly, but he tries.
Look at these.
That's a ready-made necklace, isn't it?
It is a ready-made necklace, isn't it? You just got to literally restrand it and attach your clasp. Now this is more of a dusky pink. I love these. The graduation is from 6 to 13 millimetre, and they're all graduated, by the way, so all that lovely shape. That's why I held it up to the neckline. Then you've got that rich cherry red, and how rarely do you see an exact primary red like this? Then you've got your, oh, look at the yellow. 1, 2, 3, so what you can see, 6. These are fab. We need more of these. We need to buy loads of these because I just think they're a great introduction into jewellery making. So those of you that are thinking, okay, I want to get involved, I maybe flicked it across the channels for the very first time. Oopsie, I've managed to untangle that, so just hold that onto that very firmly, Elle. This is great. All you need to do is restrand them like this. 6 ready-made necklaces, really, aren't they?
They'd be good for children's parties.
Great for children's parties. Sorry, I've managed to unknot one of them. Somebody's getting an extra few gemstones in the bead scoop.
I say that because I've done a couple of tiara parties for some of Michaela's friends, one of my friend's little girl as well. And it's surprising, you think of a little girl, well, they were 9, but you think of, oh, a girl, they're going to love the pink, they're going to go for that pink. Both the birthday girls, different circle of friends, both light blue. And they both said, we were making tiaras, what colourway do you want? I'll make sure I've got lots of that gemstone in. They both said blue, which is what you wouldn't expect. You would think, oh, they're going to say pink, aren't they? So to have that selection of colours is brilliant because then they can choose what colour they want.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think they're great ideas, Samantha. Perfect for teaching children to make jewellery. Absolutely. Get those creative juices flowing at a young age. Because again, it'll probably go on to, what's that saying from Tiny Acorns, great oak trees grow. Absolutely. Just feed that appetite of creativity because we are naturally quite inquisitive as youngsters. Now, I think great kids parties idea because again it's girls and boys being tailored here as well, and I'm not being sexist saying one colour's for one colour's for the other, because you've got all spectrum colours really. Now for 6 individual necklaces,
should be £30.70 here at Jewellery Maker. Quartz is used by some of the biggest designers, and I actually saw a graduation almost exactly the same as this. Yes, granted, knotted in between, and yes, probably had a sterling silver clasp. £70 on one very, 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 very well-known shopping channel. £70 for one. I'd buy these. I'd wear these to the races.
They'd be lovely, like you said, going back to the children, for them to make gifts for people as well.
Yeah.
So you could say, right, I'm going to buy you a
Personalise it.
set. You choose, Nanny can have the red and, you know, and choose it per person.
Everybody
and they
has
can
the
sit down
same.
and make it and then give that. Like you say, all it is putting it onto bead of thread, crimps, attaching a toggle clasp, and it's done. Or you could put a couple of spacer beads in between it and then use the excess for matching earrings and a ring.
Well, thinking ahead, you know, what about for your school teachers, the children's school teachers? If you've got a lady or a gent, you can macrame as well, can't you, with these two? And you wanted to make something for the teacher. How lovely that your child could make them. Another message: mix them all in a great big bowl and let the kids loose.
Yeah.
Their imaginations will be limitless. See, I love that.
And crazy as well.
And yeah, I bet there would be. It'd be like us jewellery makers at the bead scoops at the NEC. Yeah, literally, your elbows are out. Hey, back
You'd
off.
still get out one though, finding all the right same colour and sizes.
Yeah. How's that possible? But yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Literally a big bowl in the centre, stretchy bracelets galore.
Just shake it up.
Shake it up, stretchy bracelets, mismatch of sizes as well, mismatch of colours, wonderful. Very popular, well done. Do stay where you are on those. I've never seen those before, I love them.
They're cool.
They're
Very
fab. Right,
cool.
okay, I managed to unknot one, so hang on, let me just keep my fingers right there. Moving on to in. No, it's not. Oh, here. There we go. We get there in the end. Talking weddings, won't we?
Yeah.
These would be great for wedding favours, but also, have you ever been to an event, maybe it is the races, and you don't want to take a really big bag, but you also don't want one of those tiny, tiny, tiny bags which literally carry nothing, but you want something which is very easy to carry as well. I think, take the largest one of these, decorate it. You could do maybe your horse
Or your Zari
embellishment,
bundle.
or your Zari. How lovely would this be as a little clutch bag?
Yeah, that's cute.
And you can get plenty in those, can't
Yeah.
you? Plenty. Now, every time I bring you these, they are our high-end bags, come in 5 different sizes, by the way. You get 10 pieces in total, 2 of each. I'll try and hold as many of the sizes as I possibly can. These always, always, always absolutely fly out of the vault, because at a wholesale price, when I used to buy at wholesale prices before, when I had my jewellery business, I don't think I could even buy 2 of them at the price that we bring them here. Now, we're passing on those savings. This is the full 5 sizes that you're getting. One's perfect for your rings. Perfect size for your rings. You can see that lovely satin cord, and it is a lovely brushed velvet. Another one, maybe your bigger, more chunky rings, or maybe the pendants, like what?
Maybe a little cuff or
A little cuff.
a little bracelet or
A little
something.
bracelet,
Something a
yeah.
bit more delicate.
Then this is probably the size I was used for your cuff bracelets.
For a cuff, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's got that bit more depth to it.
Slightly bigger, slightly more substantial. Then moving on to your necklaces and maybe your collars in the large sizes. Now, we've got quantity. However, they are always hugely popular, as I said. This is real luxury. If you buy any piece of jewellery from Cartier, Tiffany's, Gucci is another. Gucci actually have bags in this sort of coffee colour, or they did anyway when I was working in selling jewellery, Gucci jewellery. Roberto Coin, Piaget, a lot of them do use velvet because it's regarded as a really luxurious fabric, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. It makes you think of that, doesn't it? It makes you think it's a little bit more special.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't want to buy something and then it sort of just be, I don't know, chucked in a paper bag. That devalues the piece of jewellery. This, and add it into the cost if you do sell your jewellery or you do make your individual commissions, add it in. These should be ordinarily £13.90 for all 5. Sorry, all 10 in the 5 different sizes.
half price today. I know absolutely from the wholesaler that I used to buy my own pieces of supplies from, rather, when I had my own business. I couldn't buy 2 for that price.
No, there's a wholesaling store around the corner for me. Actually, I've discovered it by pure fluke, and you know, I've had a little wander around. But yeah, the prices that you're paying in there are twice the price, 3 times the price, and they're not that size either. They're the smaller sizes, and you're limited to having to get the same size. So where you've got the variety there, a lot of the time if you do go to a wholesaler, you have to buy a pack of 10 of the small size and a pack of 10 of the next size. You don't get that variety.
No, absolutely, and they do. And with different pieces of jewellery, you do need different sizes, don't you? It would look a little. Oh, hang on a second. It just jumped off my head. How weird. Anyway, yeah. If you had like a ring and then you put it in the large size,
yeah,
it would just look a little bit peculiar, wouldn't it?
That's what I mean. And like, if you did have, when you do have to get lots of the different sizes in a bigger bulk, like you say, it's a bigger outlay, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't want to have to pay that. But for that, you could afford to give it away, or like you say, sort of put it into your cost a little bit. But if someone buys quite a few pieces, you can say, do you know what? Have a gift bag, and I'm going to put it into something nice and special for you, and put a couple of pieces in maybe one of the lower different ones, but all in that big bag, so that person gets to take a big bag of jewellery back.
And you can even personalise these, or even put your own business logo as well. Again, loads of you on the phone lines. Do stay where you are. Congratulations. Right, all of these. Oh my goodness. Sorry, everybody. Here we go. Right. Haven't brought you this gemstone all day. Sorry, isn't it typical? They start to get all uncomfortable after a while, don't they, these hats? Or mine does, because it hasn't got one of our JM bands on it.
Yeah, mine is a little bit. You
Start,
get that little bit
start wriggling at stage,
yeah.
Do you know, this is going to be amazing with those sort of day at the races tones, because you've got the Botswana agate has got a real palette of them, hasn't it? Triple strand. There are only 58 of these available. I could probably count on my on my little digits how many times I've brought you Botswana agate this year, actually. Actually, I've brought the bigger sizes more frequently than I have actually the smaller sizes. That said, these aren't tiny, but they're great for adding detail. Adding detail maybe in sort of fascinators, as we were talking about earlier on, just simple stretchy bracelets. A Botswana agate is one of the most sought after and expensive generally, because it has got such lovely, beautiful formations. Now there's almost 1 metre on every single one of these lengths, so in total you've got over 2.5 metres of Botswana agate here. I can remember having a live message into the studio. It was this week from one of our lovely customers who was saying, Eleanor, I'll be buying more. No, it wasn't. It was on actually the Wall of Fame. They were saying, Eleanor, I'll be buying more of this gorgeous gemstone because it is so wonderfully intriguing. You can get some sort of pinks to the excuse me, crimson reds, lilac tones even. Sorry about that, to pastels. It's quite a natural, nurturing like gemstone, and you can actually see how it progresses by Mother Nature herself. 250 carats on every single one of those strands, so that's 750 carats. Wow, this is a deal. Wow, wow, wow. How quickly can we flood those phone lines, I wonder? $5.95, I'm pretty certain that will do. Can't see you now. Pretty certain that'll do exactly that. 750 carats of Botswana agate.
And the thing is, you do get to see that agate banding, even though it's nuggets, you still get to see that character on each and every single one of them. I just think it's beautiful, and like you say, they'd look lovely just as a long strand, wouldn't
yeah,
it? Like
absolutely, layered round,
layered
etc.
it round, yeah.
100%. How many have we got of these, Kim? 58 only. There's oh really? Who's been successful? Oh my goodness. Rosalind, hello to you. Catherine, County Durham, Vivian, Virginia, hello to you, West Midlands, Ruth. Again, loads of you, and lots of you choosing to multi-buy, but we only had 58 opportunities. $5.95. When did we start being able to acquire such high-end gemstones like Botswana agate at prices like this?
And it's crazy, isn't it? And like you say, the Botswana agate, it's just got that different tone, that colour range going through it. I was thinking if you did get that Moonstone bundle that you had earlier, you could team that together and it would really just tie it.
And it's going to go even further. Yeah, and they work perfectly with your Moonstone colours as well, don't they? Because you don't get adolescence, but there is a lovely sheen to Botswana agate as well. Very busy. Well done, well done, well done. It's all going to go. Now, earlier on this morning, you've been asking for quite literally, well, a year at least, probably we estimate almost about 18 months actually. When can we get the bead scoops again? Listen, we don't like to sort of say no to you, we really don't, but unfortunately we've not been able to bring you the bead scoop up until now. Last week I launched the monochromes, so the blacks and the whites. This morning, and we've been deliberately staging this rather throughout the course of the morning because we had 1,000 quantity and we didn't want to inundate our call centre all at once, and also we understand some of you might want to have a bit of a lie-in on a Sunday morning. It is Sunday after all. So what we've done is sort of put a certain quantity in at 8 o'clock, certain quantity in then at 9 o'clock, and we're recapping it right now before obviously we lose our Freeview customers. Now, the reason why it takes us so long to bring you this is because it takes us this length of time to be able to accumulate that amount of gemstones. Because they are so gem heavy, so many different gemstones, so many different cuts, carats, shapes, sizes, all different varieties of gemstones, it takes us a long time to actually accumulate enough to warrant this opportunity. Now, Laura, you've stranded some on here, and I've also got all of these in the dish, and the wonderful beauty about a bead scoop is it pushes you, it makes you think outside of the box. You are ticking tons of jewellery boxes. I mean, what can you see in there? A cultured pearl, certainly the shell. Anyone else picking out the, actually, cultured pearl. Anyone else picking out the tiger's eye and the smoky quartz? Anyone else picking out the Jaspers, the carnelians, the nuggets that you're getting, the shell pearl, the agates, the carved shell? Have I said tiger's eye? I don't know. Just a real variation of those lovely earthy tones. Now, we had 1,000. Like I said, we launched them at 8 o'clock this morning. However, the majority, I don't know in terms of quantity how many we've got. Just half the stock is gone. Okay, 500 gone within an instant. I've got 100 still remaining in baskets. So that takes us up to 600, and that means there's another 400 available opportunities. That might sound massive, but actually the majority of those of you that are coming through right now are buying sort of 3s, 4s and 5s even. I have actually seen somebody buying, 10s, and I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Can I just point out my favourite?
Yeah, please do.
Because when I was looking at it earlier, I didn't see it until I put them on the wire, is the carved leaves.
This one?
Yeah, there's 2 of them, which I just thought they were, I didn't see them, and I thought they're so beautiful, and there's 2 of those in there, so you've got straight away a pair of earrings,
absolutely,
and I only saw half of it. You
did, and the beautiful thing about these is they are completely at random, so we can't say that you'll definitely get this. They're completely and utterly at random. So, but it's a great way of starting your jewellery maker journey at relatively no cost, really. Yeah. Because for you to buy cultured pearls, Jasper, for you to buy your, what else to say, carnelian, your shells, your shell pearls, for you to buy your agate, and your crackled quartz, etc. And I'm just naming just a few, tiger's eye, it would cost you more than £4.95, wouldn't it? To get all of those gemstones, and that's not necessarily saying you'll get all of the amounts of different shapes and sizes. So needless to say, our jewellery makers go nuts for our bead scoops. And I was talking earlier on, and it's so funny, and I'm sure you can all remember, and hopefully a couple of you are sort of laughing and chuckling along with us as well, just how we descended on the Jewellery Maker stand at the NEC, and as guest designers and employees, we were like, oh my goodness, you could literally see the surge of JM family that were rushing to get hold of their bead scoops, and it wasn't to come and see, sorry Laura, no disrespect, it wasn't come to see, you are one of the reasons, obviously. It wasn't to see,
it's all about the bead scoop.
It wasn't about you and I or anybody else or Martha or Paula Bennett, or it was about the bead scoops, let's be honest, let's be frank, that's what you were going, and rightly so. Rightly so, that's how it should be.
Yeah, but you say that, but the guest designers wanted to get out the bead scoop, so we were told no. You need to let. We actually had the dregs at the end of the day. It was like, can we have a look now? And like, yeah, it's practically empty. We're like, because we weren't allowed to get first dibs, we had to kind of stand back and watch these people coming out going, look at this, what I got in the bead scoop.
Yeah, and you're like,
yeah,
envious, envious. It was actually snowing as well on the last NEC one, so I was doing shuttle runs back and forth from the NEC to the studio to try and get more and more and more. I was so amazed by the amount that we'd actually got through. That's why they are sort of one-off opportunities, and I don't know, it might be another 12 months or 18 months again till I can bring you these a bead scoop again. So do get it whilst you can, and upload your pictures, because I like to see the sort of sorting out of the gemstones, and do send in, yeah, absolutely, and send in your pictures to the Wall of Fame as well. So your reds, your oranges, and your earthy tones here. You get a substantial carat weight of all different genuine gemstones. I've got to go. Do stay with me though, because we've got more coming up after this.
Get interactive with Jewellery Maker by liking our Facebook page and join over 55,000 like-minded people. Did you know that if you go to JewelleryMaker.com and sign up to our mailing list, then you'll receive 10% off your first order with us. We'll also keep you updated with special offers, theme shows, program guides and Jewellery Maker tutorials. Jewellery Maker. Create, wear, share. There are 4 easy ways to stay in touch with Jewellery Maker. You can like our Facebook page and join a community of over 54,000 people. You can follow us on Twitter and tweet us your messages and opinions, send photos of your designs and enter our Wall of Fame competition. Or if you need any help or advice, you can email our friendly help team. Make sure to get involved and stay up to date with Jewellery Maker.